welcome back to the King's Room. Jamie Hall, King's Media here, and it is the big one, the final 18 of the main event. A huge $512,000 prize pool with one lucky winner walking away with a six-figure score, 105,000. Absolutely huge. We have a star-studded final table as well. In amongst some of the names, we have Ling Lu, Female Australian Player of the Year, 2.6 million. Ricardo Bono, just on an absolute hot streak in the PLO streets, having taken down the Aussie Millions PLO for a huge 250 circa score. We also have Kenta Ito coming in as the chip leader. Sydney Crusher has 4.540 million. All of these guys are going to be coming onto the feature table, as well as Dane Allwright, an absolute King's reg, both here at the King's Room and Churchill's. Dane has a bit of a knack for running deep and does make a lot of final tables. It might be his time to be taking down this main event. On the outside table, we have Henguri Zhang, who until last series hadn't actually won a poker trophy, but has also been on an absolute heater recently. Took down 2 trophies on the last event, got a massive score at the Aussie Millions for a late finish also. He sits on 1.4500. We also have Troy Sweet, one of the Princes of Kings, was nearly down and out in the later stages yesterday, but managed to pull it back right at the end to get up to 1.8 mil. Gordon Zhu, also still in the field, was chip leader pretty much the entire day yesterday, and right towards the end and had an unfortunate couple of outcomes, which has put his stack a little bit shorter at 2.1 mil. Patrick So, also a King's Churchill's main event winner, comes on as second in chips. He's got a massive 4.2 million, as well as Edwin Chu, Cyril Sydney Crusher, again, massive cash game player, and the guy just prints money and earns trophies for a laugh. He sits on 1.3 mil. We also have some slightly lesser knowns remaining in this final 18. Won't go through every single one, but they are going to be sure to be putting on a challenge chasing that huge $100,000 plus score. And we're all going to show you this through the next generation of streaming, which we have been rolling out a little bit in the Sydney Millions and then over the last few days. But today's the big day for the main event. So expect lots of the outside table action and bringing you around the room. We will have the dulcet tones of Josh Monk in the commentary booth with his partner in crime, Adam Burke, and anyone else who is floating around, and maybe some pros dropping in as well. But it is going to be a great experience, and with the level that we have still remaining in these final 18, really going to expect an absolute spectacle on this final table. Can't wait. Thanks for joining us. Tell your friends, and let's go.
Thank
you very much for that, Jamie.
Jamie Hall.
Yeah, unbelievable there. What an intro. Yeah, totally agree. We are back here for day 3 of the main event, the big one, the Colossus. 2 tables remaining, 18 players. You're listening to me, Josh Monk, alongside partner in crime, Adam Burke. Berkey, how are you?
Monkey, I am sensational. How are we travelling today?
Mate, we are kicking goals with both feet at the moment. They're the event payouts you can see, or should be showing up relatively soon, as the players you can see. Just unbagging here for the day 3, 512,200 in the prize pool. Record-breaking prize pool.
And they broke it by a fair bit. 50,000.
Yeah,
almost. Well, roundabout, close enough. Let's just call it 50,000.
There we go. So,
and everyone looks fresh. I mean, it was a very, very long day yesterday. They played for, I think, what, 14 hours?
Yep.
Roughly around about there. So the good thing is they came back late afternoon.
Yep.
5 p.m. start, and everyone looks fresh and ready to go to take down this main event of 105,000 up top, if you don't mind.
And to be fair, I think everybody, not only just us, Berkey, but the players and the staff and everybody here at the St George Leagues Club is very much looking forward to the concluding stages and to crown a winner at the end of the day.
Plenty of action to come. There's some interesting names still in the field. We'll get through them once we start getting the chip stacks up. We'll go through them, and what an event series they've put on so far.
Totally agree. So a couple of tables. There's 18 players remaining, playing for that $105,000 up top first prize. So it's a 6-figure score, and we're looking forward to providing you with all the action tonight. And hopefully we'll see some big time plays being made by some big time players that are out there in the field that Jamie Hall was alluding to. Bit of a big shout out to Link Tech Australia for providing the being the major sponsor of this particular stream, in conjunction with Matty Marshall down there part of the production team, bringing this to you. And this is the King's Premium Poker Room
Well, we wouldn't be able to do what we do up here unless we had people like Matty Marshall and Jamie Hall and the King's Poker Room and St George Leagues Club all coming together to put on a great spectacle for the players.
Couldn't agree with you more, Berkey, and we're excited to call the action for you at home. And we would like to thank everybody who's going to come and join us on Facebook Live and on YouTube. We are on a 20-minute delay. The players did kick off at approximately 5 p.m. tonight with a small delay. So we're just jumping on now. So we appreciate all of you coming in and supporting the channel and also supporting these players as they play down for the coveted trophy, $105,000 and a Sydney Millions ticket worth $2,000, Berkey.
Yes, absolutely. And that's going to be a big series at the end. They gave away a ton of tickets in this one.
Yep.
To the
11?
I think the player of the series had 11. I think I read that. I read that online. I can be persuaded differently, but I think that's what I read. They gave away 11.
And I think it was Peter Panagides who won the player of the series.
Peter Pan.
Is that correct?
We've had a lot of conversations with Peter Pan recently.
Yep.
He came up and wanted to have a chat with us and say we've been doing a great job, which, every time we get some love in the chat or in real life, it's a huge honour to be able to bring this stream or production to everyone in Australia, and we've actually had some people from around the world watching, which is great.
There you go. So we're going to go through the players here a little bit, Berkey, and I know you've collected some information about them.
Yeah.
But let's go around from seat 1. We got Jackson Wang.
Now, Jackson Wang is apparently a very, very what you'd consider high roller. Loves a big punt.
Okay.
A big punt. Super loose, very aggressive player. So we're expecting big and crazy things from him with a $2.5 million stack.
As Peter Moore here in the hijack finds the pocket sevens first pocket pair. And there's Stev Lakovic is how you pronounce it. We did confirm that prior to going on stream. Picking up the 9-7 offsuit in the big blind, so it's going to cost him 80K to call, which is just one big blind. The blinds here are 40K, 80K with an 80K big blind ante. This is hand obviously number 1 of day 3 of this main event, brought to you by the King's Premium Poker Room at the St George Leagues Club 124.
Look at this first hand.
Princess
Top
Highway
heavers, top
Cogra.
set.
Yeah, pretty bit.
Straight into it. Wow.
Talking about some big time action, like you said, Berkey. Top set versus top pair with a 9 kicker. So we might see some fireworks straight out the gate here, Burke.
And look at Kenta. He's ready. He looks a lot fresher than these guys did yesterday. Paying very, very close attention there. So we're going to get a bet out here straight from Stev of 140,000. Now you're sitting here as Peter going, is this real life for the first hand? I've just flopped top set and I'm getting bet into.
Yeah, what a great start to his day, flopping top set. And a bet out actually from the big blind of Stev, who decides to bet out 140K, and Peter's going to make a very easy call here for 140. And off to the turn we go. A 9 would be a disaster card for Stev here. And the turn card brings in the King of Hearts. Might slow down the action ever so slightly. Action on Stev. He's the gentleman there you can see sitting in seat 9.
Nice little timepiece there as well. I actually like that ring.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, like gold with like a black opal.
Yeah. It's
on the
quite
wedding.
interesting.
Yeah, on the wedding ring too. So there you have it. We'll get to what's going on in the outer tables also. And the players that are competing out there, we can give some information. Call the action first.
Good evening, members and guests. Welcome to St. George Leagues
So it's
Club,
about 400,000 into
lasting
it.
memories.
It's just over
My
half
name
pot.
is Chris, and I'll be your
Now,
host.
once
for
again, if you're
tonight's
Peter,
beautiful
how much are
free
you licking
fuel
your chops here?
From 7
Now,
p.m.
at
we'll
what
be
point in this hand do you go for the
drawing one
raise?
lucky member every 10
I don't think it's this
until
card,
8 p.m.
only because
If your name and membership
you want him to have the king here.
Yeah, good call. And he's just a big blind defense too. So defend, I should say. So he shouldn't have many combos that hit this board very often. However, he is going to elect to make the call here and not pop it up on the turn, trying to get max out of Stev. So here comes the river, and the river brings in a repeat 3. Huge card for Peter Moore. Now fills up, makes a book.
Yeah, but if Stev thought he was ahead before, he's probably still thinking he's ahead now. Now, is he going to go for the third bullet, or is he going to slow down here?
Question coming in from Justin Park, I should say. 3840. Is Todd Skelly still in? The answer to that is no. Unfortunately, Todd has busted in this particular event. And we'll get talking about who is playing on the outer feature table, because there is two tables left, 18 players remaining. To get back to the action here, Stev's now going to shut down at the river. He's going to check from the big blind after betting the flop for 140K, betting the turn for 400. And now the action background on Peter Moore. Is the gentleman sitting there in the middle of the table with that sort of grey sweater on and a trucker's cap. And it looks like he's just going to whack the river, I'd imagine here, Berkey, but he does put out one of those time bank chips.
He's got an SPR of effectively one. I wouldn't mind a big bet here.
Yeah, a big polarising bet would be good.
Polarising bet would be good. Just weighing up his options here.
And I believe he's got to come out and bet quite strongly here. Berkey's going to bet 800K, so
don't mind this bet at all. It's above half. I would have gone for a bit more, but I mean, if you can get the call out of him here firsthand, that'd be incredible.
Have a look at Stev Lakovic here. He was eyeing off his opponent. He's doing it again now, trying to get a read or a tell out of Peter Moore. He's facing a big-time bet from a big-time player in that of Peter Moore.
It's a tough decision here. First hand, you flop top pair.
Yeah.
Facing the raise. I mean, it's an interesting one. Look, I wouldn't even know what to do in this situation.
Well, think about this, Burke. If he does bust here, Stev, or soon, he'll pick up $3,600. And first prize is 105, which is a serious consideration, and he does make the lay down. It's a good fold there from Stev.
We'll work through some of these players we got here. You can see some of those chip counts. Now, we're going to go through seat 2 here. Oh,
this
sorry.
is an outer
Wait a
table
second.
action at the moment. It looks like Ace Jack versus the King Queen, and it looks like
Ace Jack.
Yifan Chen is up against Edwin Chu, and it looks like Ace Jack is going to hold here against Edwin Chu. So Edwin Chu is going to lose a few chips in this particular hand.
Man, doesn't he roller coaster with chips?
He does.
It's no fear though. You absolutely no fear in it. He'll go with anything. Anything he believes is ahead or any advantage he can take.
So Eddie's going to pass a few more chips over to Juan Fei in that particular hand.
All right, so we'll go back. You call the action as you go, but we'll go seat 2 here. Dane Allright. He's a King's Reg. He hasn't had many big results, but he said it was huge for him making this final 18, and hope he goes on to win it.
Yep.
Seat 3, Ling. I don't know if she needs many introductions. Ling
Serial
won
crusher.
Women's Female Player of the Year this year.
Yeah. Absolute crusher, like I was just saying, Burke. She's been in and around the circuit for quite some time and very well respected, on top of having some pretty big scores there too, Burke.
Ricardo Bono, need an introduction? The
Not
man
really.
himself, he's been on more streams than I've. I think he's
Commentated
been
on.
Yeah, I think he's been on more streams that I've commentated than anyone else.
Yeah.
Just solid player, and he only plays one style, and that's go for the win.
There
None
we
of this
go.
ICM boogery that he likes to talk about.
Yeah. Well said.
C5, we've got Peter Moore. King's Reg as well. He hasn't had many big results either. He's super excited to be here, and he's an absolute, from what I hear around the traps, just an all-round solid player.
That's Mike Larson there also. He's a bit of a... He's known as Swedish Mike, and he's a bit of a crusher too.
A bit of. Have you actually seen some of his Hendon Bob in that? I'll pull that up eventually. He travels the WSOP circuit.
Wow, okay, there you have it.
Yep, he's massive results. He's in all consideration one of the toughest opponents in this field left.
There you have it. Jackson Wang, look at the get-up he's got on at the moment.
100.
He's got the hoodie going, the face mask. It looks like he's got a backpack on there, despite sitting on a chair.
He's the aggressive player that we need to be looking out for on this table.
Yeah, and talking about aggression, here it is right here. He's got 6 high. He's got a bet out from the big blind on a board of ace 10-5. There was a raise pre-flop by Peter Moore to 160K. Jackson did flick in one big bet to call. And now Jackson's going to bet the flop here. And he's picked up a bit of equity now on the turn as the 3 peels off. He now can make a straight. Can also take this one away with a 6, a 4, a deuce, or a 7. Big card for him on the turn. I'd imagine he's going to go one more barrel now that he's picked up those additional equity outs. The outs up in the top right-hand corner of your screen. He's going to check his option. So don't mind this from Jackson Wang. I thought he was going to make a bet, but I feel like he's going to probably make a playback here on the turn. Peter Moore, I'd
check
imagine.
raise if he bets out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to see Peter check back here. But
He hasn't got much of it here, Peter. If he thinks his opponent's got anything, I don't know. Oh, once again, tough decisions, but yes,
He
I
does
do
check
like the
back.
check back there.
Here comes the river. And brings in the 7. He makes the absolute nut straight. He backdoors into the 3-7 to make the nut straight, double checking his cards. He's got the Nintendo 64.
He just hopes his opponent's got something on this board now.
Have a look at that run out for 6-4. Absolute nuts. Check mark next to his name. So he's going to see if he can extract a little bit of value out of Peter Moore here, but I can't imagine Peter's going to call with nothing more than a busted straight draw and King Jack high. And here's the bet. Looks like he's going to bet 450k. Peter Moore with 40 bigs or 3.2 million. And whilst Peter is contemplating a call here, just going to let the viewers at home know what's going on the outer feature tables. We do have quite a few crushers out there. Edwin Chu's out there. Addie's out there. We've also got One Fei Chen as Peter does elect to make that fold there. Guilherme is also out on that outer feature table. Mr. Shin. Yu Quin Chen is also out there. Henrui Zhang, who we've also commentated on Berkey's, out on that outer feature table.
I think we've commentated on most of these guys over the last couple of days, haven't we?
Gordon Zhao is also out on that outer feature table, and the last player at that table was also Patrick So. So some serial crushers out on that outer feature table, which you can basically see in the top right-hand corner of your screen as they're just folding down and packing down. One of the tables no longer required in this event as Ling Lu under the gun finds the 7-8 suited in spades here, Burke. And look at the way she's stacked up her chips too, building a little Great Wall of China type of scenario there.
All right, so what you call the action here for a second. I'm just going to get around to the last couple. Kenta Ito. I don't think he needs much introduction here. Absolute Sydney crusher.
Yep.
Has had some big results recently, some deep runs, and I'm telling you, I'd say one of the favourites to take this thing down, especially with being the chip leader here.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to Stev Lakovic. Apparently pretty successful business owner, just loves his poker and, just loves being in and around it, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'm sure all of these players are definitely loving the fact that they're in and around that $105,000 up top.
I don't care who you are, how much of a crusher you are, you want to take down that six-figure score every time.
Jackson Wang's going to fold from the small blind, and Dan Enright's also going to fold from the big blind as Kenta Ito made that raise with the offsuited connector, I should say, of 6-7. Good enough to take it down.
But if I was to take, let's say, seat 1, seat 4, we're going to say take Jackson Ricardo to put max pressure on would be my guess. Kenta Ito to pick his spots perfectly, and Swedish Mike, as they call him, just to be able to navigate properly. He's a navigator, an absolute crusher of the game. And it's I'm glad to have everyone here. Glad to have everyone in the chat. If you are in the chat and you'd like to give us any questions, queries, concerns, we'll do our best to answer it. We're going to have hopefully a couple of guests come in throughout the day and get some expert opinion on some hands maybe, and some of the owners come in. Mark Liddell, maybe we can get back in here. He's an absolute hoot to have.
And talk about a bit of a hoot to have. What about Ace King of Clubs after facing a raise under the gun from Ricardo Bono? He found the King Jack offsuit, decided to pop it up and make it 160k to go. And Peter Moore under the gun +1, sitting directly to Ricardo's left, finding the Ace King suited. He's going to 3-bet it to 550. Pretty simple 3-bet with arguably the 4th best hand in the game. Mike Larson from Sweden's going to get out of the way. Kenta Ito is going to fold. Stev Lakovic is going to also fold the Jack-6 of clubs. Jackson Wang can't call on the button with a 3-deuce off. Dan Enright's going to fold a couple of clubs in the 10-5. Ling Lu in the big blind with a 10-7 off is going to also put it in the muck. And Ricardo says, nah, forget about it. I don't want to compete with the King Jack, so he does elect to make the right decision there, Berkey, and not defend to that 3-bet with the King Jack off.
Yeah, plenty of action to be had. Look, just who are you tipping here, Monkey? Who are we taking? Because there's plenty to be asking for on this table.
You know what? I'm going to take the last remaining female in the field, in that of Ling Lu.
Well, been in these positions, knows how to handle them, so that's a great pick.
Yep.
Seasoned vet. I asked the question, then I don't know the answer myself. I don't know. I might just take Mike Larson.
Right, okay.
Only because I know he's been in almost every big spot known to man.
Yep.
And he knows how to handle himself in really, really tight situations.
Is it also because he's wearing a Michael Jordan labelled cap?
I'm surprised you didn't take him for that reason.
Yeah, I should have, but I want to back Ling all the way in. She's just a wonderful human being and an expert poker player.
Lovely to talk to as well.
Yeah, she's super friendly, so if you ever get an opportunity to have a chat with her, say hello.
I don't know what happened in that.
She's very personable. As Guaoji Chen is going to fold, Kenta Ito is going to fold under the gun +3 with the jack 8 off. Round 2, Steph. Lakovic, we found out is how you pronounce his surname in the hijack.
We apologise for ruining a few names in the last couple of days.
We did try our best. We didn't know the pronunciation.
We are trying our best here. So we'll get the information we can as we get it in, and we'll try to give that to you guys as much as possible.
So Steph is going to pop it up and make it 170k to go. Jackson Wang in the cutoff with the 10-6 of clubs is going to fold. Dan Enright is the gentleman sitting in seat 2 there, wearing all black. Very serious person. Tell you what, it's a pretty nice little jacket he's got on there, made by Nike. So props there. Ling Lu's going to get out of the way with the jack 3 off.
Geez, you love your Nike stuff, don't you, Wayne?
Ricardo Bono now in the big blind facing 90k to call. He's going to flick in a call from the big blind, so you'll see a lot of this a raise and then a defend from the big blind, especially considering the big blind is flicking in not only the big blind, but also the big blind ante, which is 80k as the flop comes down 7-4-9. And Ricardo's going to take a big lead here with Queen 9 flopping top pair and third best kicker. I imagine he's going to check and let Stev here have a stab at it, which he does. So round to Stev now. Can he find a check here? Which he does. Fantastic from Stev. Doesn't want to contend at the moment on this particular board as it does smash the big blind's defending range.
Picks up a couple X out. He only had 2 aces on the flop to hit. He's picked up an extra few outs. Any ace, any deuce, any 6. We'll give him a hand here. So he's picked up a little bit of equity here on the turn by taking that check back, Stev. But I imagine Bono's going to start protecting his hand here and throwing out some sort of bet.
Well, he did actually check Ricardo, so the action's back on Stev on the turn. Well, pardon me. He's bet out 240k. Good call from you, Berkey. We're just playing a little bit of catch-up there on the graphics, so I do apologise for the missed call there. So there was a bet of 240k on the turn, like Berkey was alluding to. And it looks like Stev, now picking up a few more outs, has decided to come along. So a deuce, 6 or ace at the river. We'll get this one away from Ricardo. Let's see what it brings in.
Oh,
and there it is.
Wow, just backdoors the wheel.
Backdoor straight into the wheel. And Stev now very happy with that river card, completing a very disguised straight on this particular board. Not very often Stev should have ace 3, especially calling the turn.
Can also
finds a gin at the river there, Berkey.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, he's in the blind, he's defending. You don't have that many 3-6s unless it's suited, maybe. Or, 6-8s. 6-8's more likely, but ace-3, very, very hidden. All these types of combinations are very hidden here.
Agreed. And
music to his ears, he's just been bet into by Ricardo.
Yeah, and you can't blame Ricardo for making this bet at the river here. He's got top pair on this board that's only 9 high.
You're trying to get actually value out of a lot of hands.
Correct. Spot on. Stev is just going to jam it all in for 1.4 million like he should. It's going to cost Ricardo about 960k to call.
Roughly 30% of his stack left to call.
Yeah, roughly speaking. Unfortunately for Ricardo, he can't believe
he's in a little bit of a bind here, isn't it?
The funny thing is there is a missed flush draw on this board. And Ricardo's probably going to weigh up how often Stev is going to be bluffing at the river here. So he's going to go into the tank for a little bit.
I mean, is he going to do often, not bluffs, but combo blockers? Like if you had your 6-7, you missed your straight, or your 5-3, all these hands that suited you would defend with, which would also consider the missed flush draw. So there's a lot of combos there that he can be bluffing on here as well. Not just the ace-3, but he does get away from it. Good fold there from Ricardo. A
huge fold from Ricardo. Very good. And I have to give him credit there.
Absolutely. Credit when you make a good fold. That was a great fold from Ricardo. Great move, though, from Stev. What do you call it? Good poker all round.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're seeing some top-notch poker already. Only a few hands in. This is the outer feature table. It looks like Edward Chu is all in with Queen Jack against the 8-6. He hits a jack on the turn, so it looks like he might get a double up here, and he does. River card brings in the 7 of hearts.
You
and
can't get rid of the man.
can't get rid of the guy, as it looks like he's going to get a full double up there from...
Looks like gets him around about 800,000. Actually, I'd say more than that. Almost a mil.
Good call.
That would
was
be my-
Henry Zhang out there getting a full, or giving a full double up, I should say, to Edward Chu, who made 3 of a kind jacks on the turn. And that footage was courtesy of Jamie Hall, who's going to be bringing that footage to you all afternoon and throughout the evening.
It's great coverage, isn't it? It's just
phenomenal.
We get to see not only what's going on the feature table to call it out, but all the all-ins and big hands we can get on the outside table. So massive credit to Mr. Jamie Hall there.
Yep.
And Matty Marshall working in conjunction with each other to bring us what we consider probably one of the top tier streamings in Australia.
Not even probably, definitely. As it gets folded round to Kenta Ito here. Under the gun, +2, finds the pocket 10s. That's good enough to chuck in a raise. The blinds have gone up now to 50k, 100k with a 100k big blind ante. This is hand number 6 of day 3 of the main. That's $750 buy-in, creating a record prize pool of $512,200, with the top prize being $105,000. Second's going to pick up $70,000. Third will pick up $44,600, and the remaining of those payouts will be scrolling across the bottom of your screen and also pinned in the chat. Peter Moore in the big blinds got the 9-8 off, and he's going to elect to defend.
A lot of single raise defense so far, isn't there? And then just like, yeah, you do see a lot of it, but like a lot of deep hands that are coming so far. It's not just your stock standard bet, call, fold.
Unfortunately for Peter Moore, the flop comes down with a couple of 7s and an 8. He's got nothing more than 9 high here, and Kenta Ito miles out in front, 98% equity in this particular hand. He's overpaired to the board, so I'd imagine it's going to go check, bet, fold.
That's a good call from you. Stock standard, bet it out, take down the pot. There you go. Check, bet. Look at the hand. And fold.
Yep,
Stock standard, monkey. Well played.
Stock standard. So there is an event going on later on this evening in approximately 13 minutes from now. So if you're in and around the St. George Leagues Club area, which is at 124, hold on a second. We go to the outer feature table at the moment. It looks like Pocket Kings versus the Ace Queen off. The flop comes down Jack 10-9. Up and down for the Ace Queen. The 4 on the turn, no help. Kings in front at the moment, and the river card brings in the 7 of diamonds. So it looks like we're going to lose our first player in day 3.
Oh, and Edwin. It was Edwin again. And Eddie, so he goes on to get the double up and then knocks someone out.
And
He
that
just
was
cannot get rid of the man.
UK Shen sitting in seat 7 there, getting busted by none other than Edwin Chu.
Well done, Mr. Shen. He very well played. We had him on stream a couple of times. No, it was really a pleasure to watch all these guys and girls. Credits to Ling. Play some top tier poker here for a lot of money.
Couldn't agree. So we're going to lose one on the outer feature table. That was Yukei Shin in the outer table in seat number 7, getting busted by none other than Edwin, who happens to do that quite a lot, Berkey. He's got this uncanny ability to be short in chips and then just find a couple of back-to-back hands, essentially, a double up just before, and then finds the kings.
He just doesn't seem to be short stacked for long. He can take a hit on a big hand,
it's
and then 5 minutes over, you look over, and he's just got this mountain of chips again. He's absolute. See, a lot of people sitting there going, "Okay, I'm short stacked now. Now I've got to play some small ball poker." Not Edwin. No, next hand I'm in. Next hand I'm in. Don't worry about it. Let's pay for the maximum.
He also gets blessed with picking up some big hands too, as there's a raise by Kenta Ito under the gun +1. Queen Jack offsuit. Ricardo Bono on the button finds the pocket 6s and a call. Round to the big blind now as Peter Moore got out of the way. Grau Shi Chen is looking at the 7-8 offsuit. And he might actually flick in a call for 100k, just one white chip. The white chips are worth 100k, Berkey. The greys are worth 25, and the orange are worth 5k for the viewers at home.
Absolutely.
And he's going to flick in the call. So 3-way action. Here it's hand number 7 of day 3 of the main event, also known as the Colossus main. And the flop comes down 4-9. Couple of spades, no real help to any of the players. So Ricardo still out in front at the moment with these pocket sixes and 46% equity in this three-handed game.
To be honest, to be fair, just shut it down. Everyone
So it's going to go check from Guauji, who's completely whiffed this board.
Yeah, just shut it down.
Ito is also going to check, and Ricardo, I'd imagine, is probably going to have a bet on this flop. He needs to protect his hand a little bit.
I wouldn't mind a small bet here.
Yeah, you have
Just
to
a
bet the flop
really
here with
small
pocket
bet.
sixes.
I'd almost go like 1.5 bigs here. 150, just something small. Maybe take it down. There's a decent sized pot there, and if everyone somehow missed it, you can. And even if you get called, you can still be ahead.
Like this.
Ends up betting 300,000 or 325. Sorry, I missed that grey chip on top.
Guauji Chen can't continue with 8-7 off, and I don't think he's going to make a play at this board, considering he has 1.6 million or 16 bigs.
Kenta might be able to. He's got the big stack. He can float. He's got what he considers 2 overs to the board to hit, and he'd be good. Also, the backdoor spades. So I could see a float here from Kenta, or depends how he wants to, how aggressive he wants to be early on in this main event.
Yeah, good call. He also knows that Ricardo has lost a little bit of his stack since sitting down at this feature table to the man that's on the screen there, sitting in seat 9, Stev, who backdoored into the wheel no more than a couple of hands ago. After
He comes out with the raise too.
flop top pair. Top pair.
He gets the raise fold in. That's well played, Kenta.
There you go.
Excuse me, I'll just cough into the mic again.
Yes, he does find the raise there.
Turn 3.
And there we have it. Chris Burke joining us now on YouTube. Your brother here, Berkey.
Yep, absolutely. They're watching from some lovely establishment in Canberra.
There we go.
Sounds like they got the whole family there. So the lovely wife, Simone, my mum, Louise, my dad, Kerry, they're all there.
They're all there.
They're all there watching.
Play on.
Just let's give him a good show today, right, Monkey?
We're going to try our best, Berkey, as we get back to the action here. This is hand number 8. We are down to 17 players. Forget about the number in the top right-hand corner. That will be adjusted shortly. We did lose one player on the outer feature table.
That was actually a really good play there from Kenta.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. He saw he's got backdoor equity in his hand.
Smelled some weakness and just
Smelled
went
some
for it.
weakness and went for it.
Yep.
I think he read the player then very well. That's not taking away from Mr. Bono there, who definitely has to make a play at that. Oh, Dane, here we go.
Dane, all right, under the gun +3, finds the Cowboys.
I do like the raise here instead of the jam with 10 bigs.
Agreed. He wants to try and get some value.
You've got to try and get value out of your big hands.
Yep.
And people are worried about busting in certain times. You can't be worried about that. You've got to try and get max value of hands when you can get them. Now,
And wow, Mike's not going to defend from the big blind. I know he has 19 bigs, but he did have a suited connector, and that's probably the hand you want to call from the big blind. But
must have
obviously,
sent something.
Yeah.
Must have sent something big from over there.
maybe he listened to you on the stream, Berkey, and wants to go on to take this one out. What do you reckon, Swedish Mike?
I'll tell you what though, that's the type of hand that can bust kings though.
Totally agree.
But no, he must have sent something strong and decides just let's move it on, go to the next hand. Although people's betting sizes can give a lot of tells as well. Instead of just doing the stock standard minimum 2x raise, he did 2.5x. Maybe Mike has sensed that as a super strong raise because he didn't jam it, which a lot of people can with sort of weaker hands when they want to realize their equity. But the 2.5 he may have sniffed something out there, and I'll tell you what, to his credit, he found it.
Great call from you, Berkey. And for those people just tuning in, we are live on a 20-minute delay for the King's Premium Poker Room, the St. George Leagues Club Colossus Series. This is the main event, day 3. It's a $750 buy-in, creating a record prize pool of $512,200, with the top prize in this particular event being $105,000. You also pick up the trophy for winning and a $2,000 Sydney Millions ticket.
Now, I do need to double check with Mark Liddell here. I think I read that the top 3 get Sydney Millions tickets. So a lot of tickets given out during the series, which just builds up to be a massive, massive pool during the Sydney Millions later on in the year. I played that event last year, by the way. Yeah. Fired 2 bullets in it, got min cash. So I think I played for 2.5 days and made $400.
Jackson Wang raises it up, makes it 200K to go. Kenta's going to call from the big line with the ace-7. He does flop the up and down draw, and Jackson now needing to try and find king or a jack. to make a pair. He is behind at the moment, as you can see with the equities in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. So I'd imagine Kento will most likely come out and have a bet on this turn.
So now the only people who have the advantage
As he looks down at his stack, and it's a huge one at that too. 5.6 million or 56 bigs. He's going to bet out 175k on the turn.
things that we need to change.
I'd imagine that's going to get it all done in this particular hand. Can't imagine Jackson wanting to float the turn here with King Jack high.
If he's doing something, it's not floating. I can give you the hot tip.
Yeah, or peel one off.
I wouldn't be peeling. I'd be if you're sensing weakness.
Back because the other table can watch.
Although Kent has only got 5.5 bigs left behind him. So
Question coming in, who has the most earnings?
550. Sorry. Who has the most earnings?
Might have to throw that down to the production crew down there, Matty Marshall and Jamie Hall, who might be able to do a little bit of a multi-search.
My guess would be Mike. Mike Larson would be my guess. Just, I don't know this for sure, but for the amount of big series he's played, and you can't continuously year after year play some big series if you're not getting results either. There's
Yeah, you agreed, but
if you know what I mean.
At the time, you hadn't thought about the other table.
Oh, we got something on the.
Yeah, but
So we'll get that information to you shortly, if you don't mind, Cal. I might try and see if we can get Jamie Hall down there to do a little bit of a quick search on Hendon Mob.
the past doesn't affect the
As
future.
cards are just about to be dealt here at the feature table.
And I showed my age by knowing which.
I do like the tower that Ling has built there. I don't know why. It's
Completely different, isn't it?
It's very
You don't
different than
see
what
that
you
very
used
often.
to.
Jackson Wang picking up, in my opinion, the hand that flops the most amount of sets, pocket nines. He's under the gun. He has 2.6 million or 26 bigs. Pretty easy to calculate when the blinds are 50k, 100k. He's going to pop it up and make it 200k to go under the gun with the pocket nines. Dan's going to get out of the way with the 10-4 off. Ling Lu has got to fold the 8-5 offsuit. Round to Ricardo Bono. King 4 not good enough. Under the gun +3. Round to Peter Moore. Finds a weak ace here. Ace-5 offsuit and hijack. And he's going to elect to put that into the muck as Guaoji Chen finds the pocket jacks, the jiggity jacks. And let's see what he decides to do. He does have 1.5 million, so I'm expecting him to jam this all in here, which he does for 1.5 million or 15 bigs. Mike's going to get out of the way. Same with Kenta and Stev. Action back round to Jackson Wang, who has a pair of pocket nines and has a pretty big decision to make here, Berkey, for approximately half of his stack remaining. So he's going to ask for a full count. It's going to cost him 1.3 million to call. And unfortunately for him, he is crushed at the moment.
It just feels like that's the shrivel up hand now. It's good to raise, good to get involved with, but once you're facing such a decent sized jam,
Yep.
it is hard to continue
And he
here.
does elect to put the nines correctly into the muck. And so some big time action already going on here as Guaoji Chen finds the jacks in a premium position to be able to pick up a few chips from that of Jackson Wang.
Some interesting dynamics so far on these tables.
Good call, Burke.
Yeah, look, you always see battles within battles on these tables.
Yeah.
I think everyone's just trying to feel each other out at the moment. But I feel like Jackson and Bono have been right in the thick of things for most of the time, for good or for bad.
I'll get back to what I was talking about just before, Burke, if you don't mind. At 6 o'clock tonight, the closing event. It's got a 10k guarantee on it. It's a $250 buy-in, 40k starting stack, 20-minute levels, and unlimited re-entries until 9:50 p.m. The record prize pool in that particular event previously was $26,250. So if you've got nothing to do on a Monday night, you've just finished up work, come down to the St. George Leagues Club and jump into that $250 buy-in. It's going to generate a huge prize pool. And that is on tonight at approximately 2 minutes from now. Kickoff starts for that closing event. So we get back to the action here, Berkey, if you don't mind calling it.
Absolutely. It's just been folded round. There's the
go.
action.
Cal, we haven't forgotten about your question there on YouTube. We'll try and get some information about who has the most career earnings in live tournaments.
I'll tell you what, I'm just going to throw it out here. I'm just going to go with Mike. I'm going to look at Hand and Mob, and we'll build some theories off of that.
I do know that we had Martin Finger playing in this event yesterday, but did bust in 20th.
If he was still in it, I'd say it'd be a close match.
Just absolute no-brainer. He has approximately over 8 million USD in live tournament earnings. He's a resident now in Sydney, originally from Germany. recently had a kid too with his Australian wife. As we get back to the action, Swedish Mike in the hijack's got to fold the 6 deuce off. Kenta Ito couldn't find the RFID reader and decides to raise it up to 200K.
It's going to get round. We've got a fold from Jackson here, and Dane, I dare say, is not going to be moving on with this one. So starting the table's starting to level itself out. We're starting to get a few more raises through. People kind of stepping back. It's always funny to see when you get into these events on day 3. Some people try to become what you consider the table captain.
Yep.
Get a bit of anxiousness, and once you settle into it, you start seeing some stock standard poker play and some good moves to be made. So I think the table's starting to balance itself out. It's starting to really relax, because you're very anxious the night before.
Yep.
Yeah, you're coming back to play for such large money, and then you get a bit trigger happy. So balancing out is a very key thing, because this is going to be a very long day. You think there's only 17 people left? As we are in for a very, very big grind here, and it is the main event. You don't want to see it over very too soon.
Yep.
If you go with that, but it's good to see. It's like what a table dynamic we got here. Some streams you get some players that can be a bit flat to call, but I dare say we're going to see some really high level poker here. So I have got Mike Larson's Hand Mob up. I've just managed to pull that up. He's got 423,000 USD, which that's no slouch in career earnings.
But he gets trumped by Kenta Ito, who I believe has 805,282 in total career earnings. So Kenta appears to have the most amount of earnings in live tournaments at this feature table, as Berkey might do a little bit more research. Ling Lu has just over 400,000, so she's also a bit of a crusher, as we see some outer table action here. And it looks like Addy's all in with the pocket sixes versus the king queen off. And here comes the flop. And there comes a queen in the door with a king as well. 7 on the turn, no help, needs to find a 6 ball, and does it. Full house. Queens full of kings, getting the job done there.
Now, you will notice, Mike, in the background there, we kind of queued up accidentally the wrong vision.
Right.
So that was the 18th bust out. Mike was the 17th.
Right, there
so
you have
apologies on our end. We're just getting the information through now. We may have had the wrong one fed to us.
Yep.
So that was the 17th. That was the 18th knockout, and Mike was the 17th.
Right, fair enough.
Apologies for that in the stream. We're doing our best down here. And if you go down and actually see Matty Marshall at work, he's trying to do 17 things at once. So I understand once in a while if something small gets misconstrued. But we are down to 16 here. Down to 16 here in the main event. Excuse me, I just had a quick yawn. Currently, everyone has locked up 3,600, and the next player will get a pay jump to 4,800. So ICM pressure on again.
Yeah, so that was Henry Zhang out in 18th for 3,600. Got busted by Addy Dahari, who found a full house at the river, actually flopped 2 pair and then made a bigger full house, or I should say made a full house at the river as the queen of diamonds hit, I believe. Here comes the flop. It comes down ace, jack, 6. Complete rainbow. At the moment, Jackson out with the lead. 80% equity in this hand with top pair. However, Kenta, I should say, has picked up a gut shot to make Broadway.
So I haven't found anything on Jackson, so I'm just going to keep working my way around the table here on the handed mob.
No problems. Unoke Shin was out in 17th. So we have lost a couple of players, as you can see in the top right-hand corner of your screens, down to 16 now, all of a sudden. 2 tables off 8. Jackson Wang is going to put in a raise here on the flop. So it was bet of 150K by Kenta Ito with that gut shot. And Jackson says, enough of that. I'm going to pop it up on the flop and put you to the test. Can Kenta here find the fold? Or does he want to test his luck? See if he can peel off a queen. He's going to go, you know what? Let's test my luck. See if we can find one of the 3 remaining queens in the deck. And
No.
beautiful card for Jackson, finding trips now on the turn. 3 of a kind aces on this particular board should be good enough, often enough.
That's definitely going to shut down Kenta there.
And have a look at Jackson. He's going to double check his cards. He's going to go check. Now, this opens the door for Kenta to hit a queen at the river.
Oh,
and
my
he does.
God, does he
Oh, my
queen?
God. That is a brutal card for Jackson, who was trying to play it a bit deceivingly on the turn, let his opponent in. And out of nowhere, Kenta Ito has found one of those 3 remaining queens in the deck and makes Broadway. Oh, geez, what a brutal card for Jackson Wang.
Oh, geez, I loved the check there on the turn from Jackson. But it's, you know, sometimes when you slow play things, it can really bite you. But
Look at
Kenta's
this
going to
bet.
come out here
Looks like
betting.
850.
I think it's a great call from you, Monkey. Absolutely on the nose. 850.
And Jackson's going to be in a world of hurt here, looking down at 3 of a kind aces and almost has to make a call here. That's brutal. It's going to cost him just short of half of his stack. So, disgusting run out for Jackson, who obviously on the turn thought he was Mickey Mouse with 3 of a kind aces, did let his opponent in. And Kenta finding the queen at the river. Wowee.
Such a brutal card. Brutal game, isn't it? Now,
Spot
if
on.
he can get away with this from just a call, which he did. Oh, no, he's jammed him. Oh, wow.
Wow, now this is a big-time play from Jackson Wang, who's actually put the pressure back on Kenta.
And he hasn't
Now-
snapped him off yet. Like, he's actually, wow.
Well, I tell you
Max
what,
pressure.
Burke, if this gets through, it'll be one of the best jams you'll ever see in the game. Kenta actually makes his hand with a full-blown gut shot at the river and now contemplating whether or not he should call for 960k more. There is a ton of full houses out on the board, which obviously Jackson is representing by making this jam. And have a look at the bloke.
Oh, he's put him straight into the hurt locker.
Good call. Ahmed Latif coming in,
Yeah.
who is the major sponsor of.
He goes, how pure does he run? I mean, he only runs pure here if he actually makes the call. And
Yeah,
he's
correct.
absolutely in the bin here.
Good for you to join us, Ahmed Latif, who's also the proud sponsor of this stream through his company Link Tech.
Is it Booney saying, is this a bluff or a value bet? Honestly, you'd have to get into the mind of someone. Some people might think that he's bluffing here or if he's trying to get max value. I actually don't know.
I think, to be honest with you, I'd probably see this more as a big-time bluff from Jackson Wang as opposed to a value bet. Jackson hasn't made a full house here, so you do need to consider that what he's trying to do is trying to get a hand exactly like what Kenta has here to fold. Or at least a weak ace or a weaker ace. Obviously, there's chop outs on the board.
Ahmed in the chat saying Kenta won't fold. He's doubling down on this.
Right, okay. And if he does make the call here, Kenta, he will eliminate Jackson Wang. I reckon that Kenta makes a fold. That is my guess.
I'm
This
going to take
particular
the
hand.
opposite. I'm going to say a reluctant call.
And I'll tell you what, if he does get Kenta to fold, what a play from Jackson Wang, representing that he's got a full house on this particular board with the ace dropping on the turn. This is a huge, big-time play from Jackson. I mean, I don't know what more to say about this particular hand. I think, Piano Man, this is a bluff, in my opinion, not a value shove.
Toby Giles in the chat saying zero chance this is a bluff.
No, I think it probably is.
I think there's a lot of bluffs here, yeah. Oh, it's just like, I don't even know how to say it. Like, this is a huge spot to put Kenta into. The paired board, if he thinks he had the ace on the turn and was checking, it's whether he's made the full house or not, but he's going for max here. But he's absolutely put Kenta into the blender. Booney in the chat saying if he folds and watches the replay, he's going to cry. I probably would be too in this spot.
Josh Baraba coming in there saying, and he does make the fold. What a play from
Wow.
Jackson, getting it done.
That is unreal.
Josh Baraba, they're coming in the chat saying He's flat ace-7 off in the cutoff versus the chip leader. This is not a bluff. I'd like to actually, you know what we might do? If we get an opportunity, maybe at the break,
I think
ask him.
You know what? We're going to go out and we're going to double check with. I want to have a chat with Kenta there.
Was he betting that for value, or
That's why you
was
lead
he trying to apply some pressure back on Kenta Ito in that particular hand?
Massive.
What a fold. Gee whiz. And I believe he showed the ace. Just getting word in there that
I don't know
like
if that makes you
the
feel
ace.
better or not.
Yeah, just the bare ace, nothing more.
Oh, did you show both cards or just the
No,
ace?
just the ace.
Oh, that makes it even worse. Wow. Huge play there from Jackson. We did say at the start of the stream, the action player who's going to give you the most problems
You have
is
ace
probably
top.
going to be Jackson.
Wowee. Shows him the ace too, so
That's an incredible hand. That'll be something to go back and to do a bit of study on that one. I'd actually like to bring that to my mentor, Mr. Luke Martinelli, and ask him what he thinks of what happened there.
a lot of people coming in the chat. We
Take
do
a mental
appreciate
note.
that.
Take a mental note. Hand 14.
A lot of people saying he's value shoving, 100% there. You know what? The best way to find out,
I'll tell you what,
Go and ask
that is my goal on break, is to go ask him what he was thinking there, and what he thought his opponent had, and if he thought it was a bluff or a value bet. So
Yep.
I'll go get the information on break, and I'll see if I can bring to you guys
the correct answer.
the correct answer. Like, I mean, we can speculate here all we want, but with an extremely complex hand like that, it'd actually be good to get the straight from the horse's mouth.
Ace king.
Well, once again, look at this. Everyone in the chat. We appreciate everyone coming to the chat, getting involved in it here. Give us your opinions. We are going to stick very much amongst it. We have 16 left. We're going to go see a flop here. Dealer button versus big blind. We've got fives versus a6. We've got a king, 8, deuce, 2 clubs on the flop. Pair of fives still out in front here for Mr. Chen. And Ling sitting there with ace high. It's going to be checked to Ling. What are we going to do here with
How
Ling?
close
So Ling
you
was a
call?
pre-flop aggressor.
1 to 10.
So I don't mind a
How close?
c-bet here. Which is what we're going to see. She does elect to put out 130,000. So just over 1 big blind. This a lot of the time can get the job done, but I dare say we may see a float here from Mr. Chen. But I always like to use words like may and stuff like that, because the amount of times I've been wrong recently, it definitely shows. But what's going on in these guys' mind? Because the pressure starts building up in these big situations. So people can play out of what their usual game is, depending on how much money is available. So he does make the fold here. And that's a good, nice little hand there for Ling. Picks up a few chips. Geez, the chat's going off at the moment, isn't it? Are you reading some of these?
Yep.
Monkey or donkey?
Commentator, Joy's asking.
Oh, what is the thing?
Juan Din. Is that Richmond?
Yeah, Mr. Richmond coming in.
Mr. Richmond coming into the chat.
Online? Okay.
Serial crusher who runs better than Kenta Ito, to be honest.
Yeah, I've seen.
That guy's in every single final table
Yeah, he
photo.
is. Tom Turk goes, you don't get this far without these bluffs. Absolutely.
Look, like we said before, the easiest way to find the answer is to go and ask the guy himself, which we will do at the break, provided he doesn't bust out of this tournament and leave the arena before then. There's a lot of people saying it was a value shove at the river, and a few people indicating it could have been a bluff. I've gone with the bluff route, but I might be wrong, so I might as well just go and ask him.
Yep. Oh, we got the new chips in play. Those pink or magenta. What color are we calling
I
them?
think we were told they're called magenta.
Magenta?
chips. Yeah.
So I believe they're the 250,000 chips. So we've got 4 chips in play now. We've got those magenta 250k chips, the white 100k chips, the grey 25k chips, and those bright orange 5k chips. Now I believe that they will start slowly getting rid of the 5k chips as we get back to the action here with Dane Allright with the ace-8 suited, the natural 9. Monkey be happy raising this thing up.
Yeah, Dane's the guy sitting there in seat number 2. Finds the ace-8 of spades in the hijack. He's going to pop it up and make it 200k to go. Ling Lu, serial crusher herself with over 400,000. in live tournament earnings. She's going to find pretty easy 3-bet to 500K in the cutoff. Peter Moore's going to get out of the way with a 5-deuce offsuit. Round to Guaoji Chen with the 4-deuce off in the small blind. Sandsharks jumped into the chat saying, hello, wonderful commentators. How are you both? Berkey, I'm doing pretty well. You?
Mate, I am tip-top.
There you go.
We actually got home and actually got a good night's sleep.
We did.
Weirdly enough.
Yeah.
So we are fresh. We are here to see this thing out. However long it takes, we are going to find a winner tonight. We are in our final 16. And we appreciate everyone jumping into the chat and giving us your opinions and queries, and we'll answer everything we can.
To be honest, we love this type of chat going off on the rail. We'd like to get your opinions, your thoughts on hands. We do try our best to call the action. We are also getting information from production crew downstairs and information from the outer feature tables in conjunction with reading your comments and calling the action. So
There's a lot going on.
Lot going on. So anybody in the chat who likes to give us a little bit of extra time. He didn't actually know it was on him. He's playing around with the chips. Didn't realise that Peter had folded.
Tanking there with 4 deuces.
Yeah.
It's a bold choice, Cutton.
Mike Larson in the big blind. Dearie me. In the big blind. Folds the Queen Jack offsuit as he gets a bit of a pat in the back from Swedish Mike. He's got over 400,000 in live tournament earnings as well, and Ling Lu's going to get Dane to also fold the ace-8 of spades here. And so she's going to take down that pot and the blinds.
I actually like this in the chat. Toby Giles has come in replying to Josh Baraba. I'm so confident I'll go your halves.
Right, okay.
So we've got a 3-bet in
coming
the chat. I do love a good 3-bet.
3-bet in the chat from Toby. Connor Spinks.
Josh Baraba, if you've got a response to that, a 4-bet maybe, come on in. But we will definitely go get you. That is priority number 1 during the first break. Is that I need to get I'm going to try get both sides of the opinion there on both sides of the hand. We're going to have a chat to Kenta. I'm going to have a chat to Jackson. Let's see what we can come up with.
Yeah, we'll actually get the answer to put this one to bed as Jackson Wang under the gun +1 finds the Queen 9 off. He's going to limp in with the natural 9 round to Ling Lu, who just won the last hand with the King Queen offsuit, chucking in a 3-bet to 500 and getting the job done. Getting Dane all right to fold the ace-8 suited in spades. So she's got a decision to make here with the Queen 10 of diamonds and the hijack. She now has 3 million in her chip stack, 30 bigs, and she's going to put in a race of 250K.
The only thing, I love the wall. The only thing I don't like about it, and this is coming from a purist point of view, is her cards are hidden. So, you want your cards visible at all times because it creates sometimes betting out of action. That's I love the look of it. It's great. It looks good. I just think you should have your cards in plain view at all times.
So Jackson, the action has been folded all the way around to Jackson, who also elects to fold. So Ling Lu's going to go 2 hands without any contest, and picking up a few more chips to her chip stack, up to now 3.3 million or 15% of chips in play at this particular feature table. Obviously, there's an outer feature table where there's also chips in play out there. We are down to the final 16 of this main event, brought to you by the King's Premium Poker Room in conjunction with St. George Leagues Club. And here's some outer table action. It looks like ace is all in against Jacks, and the flop comes down King, 10, Jack. So Jacks for that player there. Turn is the 5 of spades, and the rear card brings in the 8 of diamonds. So the aces are going to lose here.
Oh, is that?
And that's
Mr.
Troy
Sweet?
Sweet. So Troy Sweet, the ambassador, is going to get busted here with aces versus Jacks. He did flop a gut shot to make a straight, but not good enough against the set of Jacks that ran out absolutely pure for them with a 5-8 run out. And so see you later.
I wouldn't mind getting him in the box again, the Sweet Brothers.
Yep.
So maybe at some point I might be able to, after he's cooled down.
There you go. Yeah, he's got to cool down for a little bit. Probably talking to his brother on the phone.
It's actually funny with those guys. They even after getting busted out of tournaments, even late, I've noticed they're just very cool, calm, and collected. So it's a really good trait to have, especially if you're looking to do this professionally.
Yeah, good call. And so that was Guilherme Baraba.
Speaking of Jacks, Ling Lu's picked up the Jacks in the +2, raised to 200,000. And we're down to Kenta Ito with the Queen 10 suited in the small blind. He's going to like to make the call here. And this is a perfect hand to be peeling off here with Stev, the 7-8 suited, peeling off in the big blind.
So I read that hand correctly. It looked like Guilherme out there in seat number 8 took those chips away from Troy after flopping a set of jacks. So GG's in the chat for Troy Sweet out in 16th, picking up 3,600 for his efforts. As the flop comes down 9-7-4, complete rainbow. Ling Lu out with the lead at the moment with the overpair, pair of jacks. Steph has picked up middle pair, and Kenta Ito has nothing more than two overcards to the board and backdoor hearts. Appreciate all the support we're getting in the chat.
Nick Rinaldi saying, well done, great commentary.
Appreciate it, Mickey.
I see your second comment, man. I don't like to talk about other things like that while I'm, what's the best way to put it? I like to keep on topic. Let's put it that way.
Just quietly, on cue, Berkey. Great call from you.
Look at that.
Mr. Sweet himself is going to be joining us in the commentary booth.
I just called. I saw your busting hand. I said, you know what we should do? We should get the Sweet back in here. I said I'll give you a few minutes to cool down a second after your hand.
Chuck us that headset. We'll see if we can get him in.
Yeah, just get caught on the other microphone. No worries.
Oh, just going to queue up Troy Sweet. Just want to make sure we've got this. You're live now.
And on
Troy,
cue.
how are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. And so can the audience at home. There we go. So Ling Lu with the pocket jacks here. We'll just call the action before we bring you in. Has decided to bet out 400k on the flop, and Kenta Ito has decided to make a speculative call here with the Queen 10 of diamonds with the backdoor diamonds. Now picked up a gut shot on the turn as the 6 of diamonds does peel off. So he did elect to peel the flop with Queen 10 of hearts. Ling Lu still miles out in front. Here comes the river, brings in a repeat 6. Great card for Ling Lu. Check mark goes next to her name. As Kenta Ito, I'd imagine, is probably going to check this river card. Doesn't really want to go up against Ling Lu very often. I know that they have played cards quite a lot together, so know each other's games. I imagine he just shuts down here, Kenta.
I actually think he might bluff this one.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Comments from the super coach sitting right behind us. That's Troy Sweet.
You can have all the 4 houses and obviously the pairs 4s, 7s,
Yeah,
9s.
right on cue.
And quads.
Well, there you go.
And he's pretty low down in his range as well. Can target a lot of ace highs with a bet. It's got a very easy call.
Good call from you, Kenta, as Ling does make a very easy call there with the overpair to the board, taking that one away from Kenta, who did make that bluff at the river on cue. Now, we do have Troy Sweet joining us in the commentary booth. Troy, how are you outside of that bad beat you just copped?
Yeah, obviously pretty brutal way to go out. Anytime you bust with aces, it hurts a little bit more. But
Sure.
yeah, if I had jacks in this spot, I would go all in, and then I would be the one hitting the jack on the flop. So.
As I said, you're very level-headed for someone of your age, being able to take beats like that, because you've been around the scene for a few years and you've seen some people not take beats like that as well.
Yeah.
It's so funny actually how he's worded what he just said, Berkey, because he's
That's
looking
the
at the
level-headed,
opponent
yeah.
and saying, if I was in his spot, I'd be doing the same play, and it's just the fate of the cards and how they fell in that particular hand. So usually when you hear a story about aces being beat, it's always I can't believe he hit the jack and all this type of stuff, yada, yada, yada. I tried my best, couldn't get it done, but obviously Troy is a very well-rounded poker player and can see it from both sides of the equation. Pretty good run for you there, Troy, picking up $3,600 in this main. Obviously, you were shooting for the big prize of $105,000 plus the trophy plus the Sydney Millions ticket, but not good enough today, and unfortunately got beat with the best hand.
Yeah.
But that's part of the game, yeah?
Yeah, still a good result in the end.
As Mike Larson, Swedish Mike picks up the kings in the cutoff. Apologies.
You're fine. Kings is definitely.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Just right on cue, big hand coming in.
the jacks here too.
Jam
The
is
hand
snap
that
incoming.
jacks here, the hand that Troy Sweet just got busted on. So a little bit of torture as he just enters straight into the commentary booth. In the second hand, he's finding the jacks again.
He just flattered here.
He just flattered, did he?
I actually like a flat with kings and aces, but jacks are a little bit more vulnerable.
Ooh, top set on the flop for Swedish Mike. Up to 97% equity. Jackson Wang needs to find some backdoor cards to make a straight. Could have also hit running jacks. if none of them were folded pre-flop.
Bit of an awkward spot here. for
Yeah, I was
Jackson.
just about to say it's very awkward here now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've just flattered what you consider as disguising your hand, and now you've got the overcard and to an aggressive player.
Yeah. From the cutoff, I'd expect Mike probably jams his King Jack and King Queen. So you're not really worried about those combos, but there's definitely some King 10, maybe King 9 in there too. From
Jackson looks like he's got to fold it. Yeah, beautiful fold from Jackson, getting away from the top set that
Lost.
Swedish Mike.
Absolute minimum.
Yeah.
it's gonna be the least anyone's ever lost in this one.
Yeah. Good call. And that's funny because we were talking about Jackson Wang being a hyper aggressive player as well. So interesting spot. I don't even know how to break that one down. You've got the hyper aggressive player who's flattered Jackson, folded to a bet.
Definitely seems like more of a feeling player, and sometimes the feeling can pay off. Definitely a bit sus of maybe Mike's open off such a short stack.
Yeah, that's. Well, which one was before where we had a 2.5x? And what hand was folded? We were considering the 7-8 suited on the big
No,
blind.
6-7 of clubs.
6-7 of clubs,
Yeah,
was
with
it?
Swedish
Yeah.
Mike decided not to compete with that particular hand.
So Dane Allright raised under the gun with 10 bigs to 2.5x open.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a defender in the big blind. We were just sitting there just wondering if it was the sizing of the bet, because almost there was 6-7 suited. You're pretty much defending an extremely wide range there.
Yeah, there definitely can be sizing tells from some opponents pre-flop, and if you do pick something up over a few sessions, and it's definitely possible to make folds like that if you got a strong read.
As we get back to the action here, Peter Moore under the gun +1 finds the King 8 of clubs. Pops it up and makes it a $250,000 to go. Round 2, Jackson Wang in the small blind. He's the gentleman there sitting in the all white, completely covered up. He is. He's got a vest on as well and the face mask to go with it.
Interesting. He actually thought he was giving Dane a walk there. He's doing passing of his chips to Dane. And he actually had not a bad hand for blind of blind. Actually very good for Dane's stack. Dane's got 9 bigs total, 8 behind and 1 big invested, and Jackson thought he was giving him a walk with King 9.
Yeah, fair enough.
So unfortunately for Dane Elright, I should say, hasn't really picked up a hand here much.
Now we're going to go to the chat for a bit. So if anyone has any questions for either ourselves or Troy, please put it in the chat. We'll try to get him to answer as best as possible. If you guys are there and you want to just chat along and see what's going on, see the action, we are down to our final 15 here in the Colossus main event with our record prize pool of 512,200, playing for 105,000 up top, which is quite a decent prize pool for here. It's just getting bigger and bigger, isn't it?
Yeah, very good. Kings are always smashing it out of the park.
Yeah, they are.
The prize pool just seems to have every series.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I believe, we were talking to Mark Liddell earlier, and I believe that they are 10K away, give or take, of putting on a $2 million total prize pool series here for the Colossus series at this time of the year. So hats off to the Kings boys, both Mark and Natan, in conjunction with Rob Lusky up there in Newcastle, putting on an absolute clinic of poker right here at the St. George Leagues Club at 124 Princess Highway, Cogra. As we get back to the action here, down to the final 15. Jackson Wang on the button finds the 6-5 offsuit. Not good enough to put in a raise in position, so he's going to fold. Dane Allright in the small blind has picked up King 9. Probably an easy jam into the big blind here, I'd imagine here, Troy.
Yep, right in the middle of jamming range.
Yep.
Probably jam any king, I'd imagine, for
Yep.
8.5.
Totally agree.
8 bigs, actually.
It looks like he's just got to put in a raise, so forget about jamming. Looks like he's going to pop it up and make it 300K to go. And does. And then Lou in the big blinds found the half price on 6 if you play Baccarat, 10-6 offsuit, facing a raise of 175K.
That's why I
I
asked you,
imagine
how
she's
close
probably going
you
to
can
fold
call
this 10-6 off.
1 to 10 still. I mean, how
And she
close
does.
he was tanking the last.
The blinds are currently
How far are you gonna put it
50,000,
down?
125, 125. So structure's going up slowly, which is great for players. You want to be able to get as much playability out of these as you can, especially when you get down to the business end of the season, if you'll have it. But 15 left. I think that was the pay jump, not giving the needle to you there at all, Troy. But we jumped up to these guys locking up 4,800. The next two positions will get 4,800. Then we'll start getting some real increases on some pay jumps.
That pay jump would have got me into profit too.
Oh, wow. The cooler.
Yeah.
You know what? Big shout out to Link Tech Australia. Ahmed Latif. He's the owner of that particular company, and he is the major sponsor of this stream that you are watching at home. As Tim has now taken a seat in the dealer's chair. Lives in Sydney, originally from
Kyrgyzstan?
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Something like that. We might have to double check that at the break also.
It borders Russia, I know that much, so he speaks
Fair enough.
Russian.
He does speak Russian. And I tell you what, they've got a good diversification of demographics of people here, actually, Berkey. They've got a whole bunch of Japanese dealers, a couple of the Russians are here, obviously some local dealers. And they do a great job at sort of working through all of those different cultures to come out here and deal.
So we did just get rid of the 5Ks. They are no longer in play, so those big orange chips. So we're down to 3 denoms again, which I'm always a fan of. I know there's some tournament series out there that like to keep 4, and I have seen 5 before, not naming any series, but I think 3 DOMs per table is kind of the standard you want to set. So adding new chips and then directly taking off the 5Ks, I think is a good look and much easier for the players. So we've got those magenta 250K chips. We've got the 100K white chips and those silver or grey, you like to call them 25K chips. So we've got Lats to Pow in the chat going, let's go Ling. So some support there for Ling in the chat. And we've got support. We have had support for a few people here, including yourself there, Troy.
Yep. Good to see.
So Jackson Wang here in the cutoff picks up the ace 7 of diamonds, Berkey.
He does like the A7 hand. We've seen that from before.
We have. Dane's actually picked up pocket 5s here now. Troy, is this a jam here on the button?
100% of the time.
Yeah, this would be a jam. Bit tough when there's a limp. You don't know how much fold equity you've got versus that limping range. But for 10 bigs, this is good enough. I probably wouldn't jam like maybe 2s and 3s because I'd be worried that Jackson is limping a hand like 2s, 3s, 4s. But 5s, I think you can sometimes get in versus deuces, 3s, and 4s because they're hands that people tend to limp.
Yeah, good call.
Fair enough.
Yep.
So Dane chucks in one of those time bank chips.
I just look at it from a short stack perspective as I'm playing short stack.
Does elect to make the fold here.
I just see some sort of premium hand. I see the blinds coming around. I'm just like, I need to get it in against something. But I don't quite see the game as well as you boys do, but we try to call the game as well as we can.
He's got a little bit more gamble than me, I think.
Oh, me, 100%. There's no doubt about that at all.
Oh, geez. Have a look at this flop here. Both of them flopping a flush draw. Peter Moore with the worst of it with the king 4 of diamonds. Jackson Wang in the cutoff is going to check behind. Here comes the turn, brings in the 3 of hearts. No diamond to see at the moment. Jackson Wang in front at the moment with 84% equity with the ace high on this particular board, but looks like Peter's going to have a stab at it. And it looks like he's going to bet 200K, which he does. So the action's going to go back round to Jackson Wang, who does have the nut flush draw on this paired board.
Interesting spot here. What would you be doing, Troy?
I think just calls seems pretty good.
Yeah.
You got lots of equity versus everything, and you beat his bluffs and lose to his value. I think that's pretty standard.
Right on cue.
Jackson does make the call, so off to the river we go, and he brings the river, brings in a repeat jacks to the board. It's got queens and jacks with a 3 in there. Any queen or jack obviously would make a full house.
I'll tell you, you'd be upset if you had 5s right about now, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would be.
You were massively ahead, and you've just been counterfeit.
I was just about to say, it's a bit of a scary card to bluff, but realistically, Jackson can probably have a lot of those pocket pairs that have been counterfeited, and snap
Tommy?
fold. That being said, if he's not going to bluff, then you can show down your king by 2.
Put diamond one time.
It's kind of
Very
funny.
interesting card.
It's kind of funny because that's nut no pair
No, I was
versus
gonna lead all
second
that.
nut no pair
Because big
on
blind
that
check back.
particular board of Queen to Jacks with the 3. And
Put diamond one.
good pick up by you, Berkey. The pocket 5s would have been counterfeited.
I still don't think. Oh, here we go.
We've got some out of feature table action. Pocket Queens versus the Ace 10. The flop comes down 4, King 9, 2 spades. The turn brings in the deuce of hearts, and the river brings in the 5 of hearts. And the Queens will hold. And it looks like,
The GG to Artie.
yeah,
Just doing a quick count here first.
Addy looks like he's going to be all out of this in 15th position, picking up 4,800. We're just getting confirmation from the dealer. And that is GG's in the chat.
Oh, he played well. We had a nice little chat with him out the front here when we first rocked up today. We ended up getting a coffee, and
That was pretty funny,
It was
actually.
funny watching you. You kind of like snapped your neck because you heard us commentating. You were sitting there watching it, the commentary live, and when you hear your own voice, it's a bit of like a needle. You can hear the.
Yeah, we're walking up ordering
piercing.
a coffee, Troy, and Addy was watching the stream, and I was like, that sounds like me. Jack Sweet coming in, your brother, saying, Troy, you still in? What a needle there.
I was
knowing-
waiting to see when
Yeah.
Jack
Yeah,
and
when he'd
my
jump
mates
in.
would start needling me.
Good needle from Jack. Obviously, he's not in. Troy got busted with aces, believe it or not, Jack. But I'm assuming your brother has already told you that.
He definitely knows.
I was about to say you'd be the first phone call off the table. He would be the first phone call off the table, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
No, that's a good read by us. We did pick that. Anyway, so Kenta Ito under the gun pops it up and makes it $250,000 to go with ace king off. Has flopped a monster here. Second nut flush draw with 2 overcards. And Mike Larson's actually flopped top pair with the queen high kicker. So equities at the moment are basically a coin flip. As Mike Larson decided to defend from the big one with the queen 8 of clubs. Kenta's going to continue his story after Mike checked it to him. Kenta's going to bet 350K.
What about Jack and Josh? Both of you boys still in?
Well played.
Josh Baraba coming in there saying, Troy, you on break. No, Troy got busted with the jacks. With the aces versus the jacks. And is now joining us in the commentary booth on the action of this day 3 of the main, right here at the St. George Leagues Club.
He's like the gem here, Mike Larson.
Mike reckons top pair with the queen kicker is going to be good enough. And I would imagine Kent is probably going to make a call here, actually.
Yeah.
Does have
the call.
10 clean outs to win this one, 2 overs and the second nut flush draw.
Look at the equity battle here. 51 to 49.
Yeah, coin flip, basically.
Absolute coin flip here.
You can also get in versus some hands you're ahead of. If Mike is jamming the ace of spades without a pair, which is very possible, then you can get it in as a slight favourite as Kenta.
Good call. So Kenta now weighing up his option to call. It's going to cost him 1.3 mil. He does have 24. And he does flick in the call with the ace king. And Mike's all in at risk at the moment with top pair, third best kicker. Can Kenta find a spade or a king or an ace for that matter on the turn of the river to take this one away from Mike? Or will Mike hold with top pair?
Knowing Kenta, I'll guess.
Oh, Kenta runs good, doesn't he?
I reckon Mikey gets this done.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's have a look. I'm going to see a turn here. We're going to get the jack.
It is the jack of hearts. So
Absolutely
Mike's
no
still out in
change.
front. Needs to find ace king or a spade at the river again. And the 10 of clubs. Mikey does get it done. He holds with top pair on the flop. He's going to get a full double through.
That's a massive double through.
And as you can see there, Swedish Mike, very happy that he held there with top pair on that board. Kenta Ito has got to pass a few of those magenta chips over to Swedish Mike, who's now up to 4 million in chips.
You can see how happy Mike is by the look on his face.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Look, I would start pointing the finger, man. I've seen you in some of these big pots with the stoic look that you guys give.
Definitely not as stoic as
Sure.
Mike. Or
You like a good stare down, though. We've noticed that when you've been on stream.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, you do love a good stare down. The fatal halt stare down.
I wish it was that good.
Just staring people, reading into their soul.
Josh Baraba says he's got the same amount as you now. Troy, do you want to swap 5%?
I think it's still we're losing this swap with you, Josh.
Good call.
Oh, we got someone on the outer.
So we're watching the concluding stages of day 3 of the main event right here Brought to you by the King's Premium Poker Room at St George Leagues Club. This is the main event, day 3. $750 buy-in, record prize pool of $512,200. And they're playing for $105,000 up top in conjunction with the trophy and a $2,000 ticket into the Sydney main event, which no doubts you'll be playing, Troy.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're overseas in Malta again.
No, that's Jack going to Malta.
Oh, Jack going to Malta.
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
apologise. Sorry, Troy.
Otherwise,
You'll be
I'll
around?
Be 100% in
There we
the
go.
whole Sydney Millions.
Perfect.
I'll definitely be coming up for it. I can't
Yeah.
wait.
Unmissable, I think.
I think another min cash is in my.
Yeah, good call, Becky. Forget about a min cash as we get round to Peter Moore, who's hoping not to min cash in this particular event, as 14 left. He would be picking up 4,800 if he did bust, but he has picked up a premium pair here in the pocket queens, and he's going to put a raise to 250k on the button in position. So from the small blind of Swedish Mike, and round to Kenta Ito, who does pick up the King 3 of diamonds, and that's defendable.
Late position raise, you're pretty much defending any or very, very wide hand there in the big blind, aren't we?
Yeah. Definitely not folding any ace. Defending most kings.
Kenta Ito, like Ahmed was alluding to. Sorry to cut you off there, Troy, but runs good again. Finds the top pair on the board of King 7 Deuce from the big blind. Absolutely outflopping Peter Moore's pocket queens. Sorry, you were saying, Troy? I apologise for cutting you off.
You probably only fold like the very worst kings, maybe king 2 off, and even that might go for a 3-bet some of the time.
Yep.
And then king 3 off, I'd imagine you would fold. Or king 4 and king 5 to burst the button. If Kenta jams here, it will be a very awkward spot for Peter. He goes for raise.
He does chuck in a sizable raise here too. It looks like $1,050,000.
Now 450 I'm going to go with.
Oh, sorry, 450. They do look a little bit.
Yeah,
those
they got-
great chips are a little bit confusing with
similar, I
the
do
whites.
Yep.
So apologise there. Raise to 450 after flopping top pair.
It's okay, Mikey. You thought wrong.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Peter Moore is going to flick in a call
The old
and peel the
12th
flop
man.
here.
The old 12th man references.
Needs to find a queen ball on the turn. Doesn't find it. In fact, Kenta now finds 2 pair on the turn.
Beautiful card for Kenta because Peter did have a king. He's now going to stack that.
Yep.
Because he doesn't have many king 7s unless they're suited in his range there, which is a very, very thin amount of combinations to have there, considering you have the king.
Yeah.
Yeah, combinatorically raising on the button here, this board doesn't hit Peter very often. And here comes Kenta Ito. He's going to bet out 400k now on the turn, straight into Peter Moore after check raising him on the flop. So poor Peter Moore's pocket queens are looking less and less favourable. Obviously, he doesn't know that. He's facing a 400k bet to call on the turn. And it looks like he's going to flick in the call. So he needs to find a lot of help. One of the 2 remaining queens in the deck at the river. And he brings the river, brings in the 6 of hearts. No help to Peter Moore. Check mark next to Kenta Ito's name. As you can see, bottom left-hand corner, he has this one locked up. Relatively dry board too. King 7 Deuce, 3-6. 4-5 being the nuts in this particular hand. However, none of these players have it. So Kenta thinking he is definitely good on this particular board. Now having 2 pair made on the turn, and he's going to jam it all in for 500k. And Peter Moore is now in a very difficult position. He has called the check raise on the flop and called a 400k bet on the turn. And now facing an all-in jam from Kenta at the river for 500k.
I know it says 500k, but I see 550 in front of him. So my graphics might be a slightly off, but
Good pickup from you there, Burke.
This is a 6 spot for Peter because you kind of have a feeling you beat. Like Kenta's line is so strong and so indicative of a King X or 2 pair. But then again, the price you're getting is insane. It's 500k, 3 million in a pot.
Yeah.
It's win the pot like 15% of the time.
yeah, it's a tough one. It's putting in the blend. Some of these are look. We've only had how many hands? We had 24 hands. It's been a fair bit of people being put in the blender in these spots. So you love putting people in the blender.
Yeah,
It'd be one of your favorite things.
Running a big bluff, there's nothing better. I'm sure Josh can attest.
He's made the call
Just
there,
makes it
throwing
cool.
the
He's
one
gonna
chip
see
in.
the 2 pairs, and that's not going to be good enough
Pretty
for
much-
Peter.
Pretty much, if there's any chance of Kenta turning up with a bluff there, you have to call.
Yep. It's a rough one. Look at this. Look at this chip count. Very, very balanced stacks up here.
And here's some action on the outer feature table at the moment. It looks like we're going to see Edward Chu battling it out again with the ace-5 of hearts. The board comes 2 pairs versus the king-7. The turn is the 8 of spades. The river card brings in the 7. It looks like we are going to lose a player there in that of Guoji Chen, getting busted by none other than that guy on the screen, Edwin Chu.
He was down to his last leg again.
Yeah, unbelievable. He just runs so pure, it's crazy.
Seems to make it, keeps getting it back. Good on him. Lovely bloke. Smiling assassin, as they call him.
And what about the flop for him too? Just 2 pairs.
Yeah, just 2 pairs. No worries.
Basically has his opponent there, Guoji Chen,
Drawing to running
drawing
cards.
dead. Needed to find some running kings or running 7s. Or running cards to make a straight, and didn't find any of them on the turn when the 8 of spades peeled off. And just a little bit of salt in the wound, the 7 of clubs peeled off at the river, making a pair that was no good. As Jackson Wang, under the gun, now picks up the pocket jacks.
Now, he lost minimum with the jacks last time.
He did.
And when I say minimum, I mean, like, as you said, I don't think anyone's lost the least amount in that spot ever.
Yeah.
It just makes the call again. He's limping a lot of hands here, Jackson. Like, no, a lot of these players in this position are just they're always doing the min raise, getting position, but he's limping a lot of hands.
It's almost like that old school strategy which used to be around probably a good part of 10 years ago, you know, when people used to limp in aces under the gun and then chuck in the 3-bet and so on and so forth. He does elect to limp in under the gun with the pocket jacks this time. Peter Moore's going to fold from the cutoff with the queen 8 off. Swedish Mike's going to fold from the button, the 10-7 offsuit. Daniel Negreanu's favourite hand, and Kenta Ito here, who's got 27 bigs. And picked up the ace-9 of diamonds.
Yep, always good.
Call from the small blind. And Stev Lakovic. He's got the 9-3 offset in the big blind. So he's just going to check his option. And off to the flop we go. 3-way action here, Berkey.
Yeah, it's interesting, a limp pot. So we've got 6, 6, 8, 2 hearts. Jack's way out in front here. But Stev with absolutely no part of this, but backdoors, and Kenta with the overs to the paired board. Dare say we're going to see a few checks in here. We're going to see a bet here from Jackson.
Yeah, I'd expect so.
Just bear with me, Berkey. I need to duck out for a second.
You're going to do what you need to, Monkey. We'll cover it from here. Do you see the bet of 275,000? I guess that's just going to go fold, fold.
Yep.
So we're down to 13 here. Now, we did just get into the pay jump. Everyone has locked up 6,300 here, but definitely playing for that top prize of 105,000. Has there been many tournaments here that are 6 figures, or are we starting other than the Sydney Millions? I mean, outside of the Sydney Millions.
I think maybe some high rollers a few years ago used to get 100K up top.
Do you play many high roller events?
I didn't play them back in those days. I was dealing them. But these days, yeah, tend to play whatever's on in Sydney. Really.
What amount of buying to you actually gets the bloods really circulating? I know you love playing. I know. I know you say any tournament here, but is there an amount of money? Like, do you start getting a bit sweaty on the 5Ks, the 10Ks? Like, where does it really hit home that this is like life changing money?
I mean, it's definitely more the prospect of winning it that gets the blood pumping, not so much losing it.
So your brother said the opposite. He's very money driven and not worried about the accolades.
Yeah. Well, no, it's.
But they go hand in hand. You win tournaments, you earn money.
I didn't necessarily mean like the trophies and the glory and stuff. It's more winning the amount of money that gets my blood pumping than losing a certain amount of buy-ins.
Yep.
Definitely, I'm definitely lucky enough I haven't been on like a substantial down.
Hold on 1 second here. We're in the hijack. Peter Moore's decided to jam it for 1.1 million. And to come around to Kenta on the ace queen suited on the button here. It's going to be about a third of his stack. Are you a fan of the jam here to isolate, or do you like the flat to try and get someone else in?
No, I would expect probably purely a flatting range here. There's not really many hands you want to jam. Because it's already tough for people to play back at you anyway, because there's already that all-in player. It's not like the small blind or big blind are going to get out of line and bluff you off the pot.
So folds round to Jackson in the big blind, who does fold his ace deuce. So we are going to have Queen Jack versus Ace Queen suited of Kenta. Now Peter Moore is at risk here and needing a fair bit of help here. We're going to go see a flop here.
Peter's put the actual backpack on. He's like halfway out the door already as the flop comes down 5, 6, 3. Peter all in with the Queen Jack offsuit. Needs to find a
Jack and
Jack
a
at the river. And
Oh my
finds
God,
it.
he hits the Jack.
Have a look at that. Backpack
Puts
on.
the backpack on too. The backpack equity.
Yeah.
Wow, what a sick card on the river.
Finds the Jack of Hearts at the river, and he's going to take a sit back down.
Kenta Ito feeling that one. Look at him.
Wow.
He's taken a few beats recently. He's been good equity favourite in, and wow, that one hurts. Just the queen, just the Jack on the river. It's a tough one. He was halfway out the door then.
He was halfway out
ready
the
to
door
go.
there, Berkey. Good call by you. Had the backpack on.
You're a believer of superstitions, backpack equity, standing up equity, calling one times.
I got the boring answer, not at all. But I like to do it to mess with people sometimes. Tell them I'm very good when I got the worst hand. Or, mockingly say the dealer one time if people believe it.
So finding the Jack at the river there, Peter Moore. 3/4 of the way out of the venue here at St George Leagues Club. Finds the Jack at the river and is going to collect a pretty sizable pot there too, Berkey, up to 2.55 million or 20 bigs now, and he's still live and active.
Oh, well in it now.
Mike Larson, the hijack, finds the ace queen that just got busted.
I was just about to say Ling might have missed an open with that ace 9 off there, but it was good timing because Mike is obviously not going to fold ace queen.
Yep. Steve Vlakovic is going to get out of the way. Jackson's going to fold from the small line with the unsuited connector, 7-8, round 2. Dane, all right, in the big blind, finds the Queen 10 offsuit.
He's just trying to find a spot here, Dane.
Poor guy has been basically card dead since we put him on this feature table.
Well, it's funny. He's picked up one hand, but he actually got away from the fives, which he was probably supposed to jam, and would have got counterfeited. So
and busted.
yeah, so money saved there. And
Yep.
he's just trying to find a handy or find a spot. He's got 8 bigs left, so he's just hanging on.
How's the patience on the bloke?
Dane definitely on the tighter side, but he's had lots of final few tables here at King's Room.
Yep.
Every big field at Churchill's and King's Room recently seemed to be in the mix with 20, 25 players left. So definitely good at avoiding those spots that lots of players will get broke in.
And I'm assuming you've played with him quite a bit?
Yeah, played a fair bit with him in the last probably year or so.
Yep.
Yeah, and awesome bloke. Love a good chat with Dane as well.
Can you understand him half the time?
No, just kind of nod my head and say yeah.
All right, so back to the action here. It has folded round to the dealer button. Everyone's folded. Dealer button's going to fold too. What is he going to get here in the small blind? Oh, here it is. We finally found it.
Yeah.
King Queen suited in the small blind. 8 bigs. Got to get this in, don't you?
I'd imagine Dane will be fist bumping about this one too.
And how wide does Ling call off here in the big blind?
For 8 bigs.
Yeah. Well, like, what's your range here?
First, Dane definitely tighter than the standard opponent, but I'd probably call King 9 plus.
King 9 plus, yep.
Maybe Ace 4 plus. And then any pair. A few suited Broadways and stuff as well.
Yep.
So Dane ahead of a lot of that, and the ones he isn't ahead of, he's probably got lots
Does
of
make the
equity.
jam as we expected here. We haven't actually quite seen Ling's cards yet. I don't think she's scanned them over the reader, or if she has, we haven't got the...
Dane finally
Yeah.
finding her hands in the small blind. He's going to jam it.
What did she fold? Oh, she didn't actually show what she folded. 10-9.
Yeah.
Natural.
Monkey would have called there all day, but I think that is the right fold there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I called just because it's a back row hand. Probably not when you're playing for $105,000 up top, and second prize is going to pick up $70,000. Third is going to pick up $44,600. As you can see, the remaining of the payouts scrolling across the bottom of your screen. This is the King's Premium Poker Room at the St George Leagues Club right here in New South Wales. This is the main event, day 3, $750 buy-in. 788 runners into this event, creating a record-breaking prize pool of $512,200. Berkey?
Yeah, it's a massive field. And we're down to our final 13. 788 runners. Just what a massive field.
Yeah, good call.
Great spectacle they've put on. The facilities have been great. Like, massive credit to the St. George Leagues Club. And I still can't believe they're considering doing upgrades.
Yep.
They just want to keep improving, keeping the experience better for all the players. So Kento here in the +1 has decided to raise it up with pocket 10, stock standard. Not much out of the ordinary there. Dane found a hand, picked up a couple of big blinds, and is now back to being card dead. As usually feels like when you're the short stack, you just can't seem to find a hand, can you?
Talking about being on the short stack, I don't know if you've noticed, but Kento's has taken a few pretty healthy hits to his chip stack. I think it was up to like 45 bigs no more than an hour ago, Berkey.
Well, he came into as the chip leader, didn't he? It was like 4.8 or 5 million.
Yeah, close to it. And now all of a sudden down to 1.9 mil.
But he had that 50-50 flip equity-wise with Mike, with the Queen 8 versus Ace King with the King Spades.
Correct.
That he absolutely bricked out on.
Yeah, the Ace Queen versus the Queen Jack of Patrick of Peter Moore.
Yeah. So I mean, you, even though you can get the hands in, you still got to run good here.
You do. Goes under the gun by Kenta with the pocket 10s and being called from the big one by Peter Moore as Berkey smashes his hand straight into his own microphone. And Peter Moore is going to check from the big blind. Kenta Ito most likely going to have a bet on this flop, I'd imagine. Troy?
Yeah, small range bet spot.
Yep.
Somewhere around 175, 150 looks like.
Now, I'm going to dock you for that one. You're 25K off.
No paycheck for Troy Sweet, who's joining myself, Josh Monk, aka Monkey, alongside Adam Burke as we go to some out of feature table stuff. And it looks like King Queen of Diamonds versus the Ace Jack off. The board comes down 4, 3, 10.
Brings the diamond draw to King Queen.
No
Doesn't get there.
Possible, though.
No, because the
Jack of Diamonds.
Jack of Diamonds, yeah, good call.
GG.
And that's GG's for Ricardo Bono. So he's going to be out in 13th. As it looks like Edwin's going to cause even more damage. This guy's unbelievable. So Ricardo Bono out there. He's King Queen of Diamonds that picked up a huge draw actually on the turn.
Speaking of running like Edwin, I want to use my one time to run like him for a day.
Yeah.
Or run like Troy here.
The Swedes, one of the Swedes.
One of the Swedes, either one. I'll take
Ricardo Bono out in 13th, picking up 6,300.
It was funny, that players champs was the first time we've actually played together, and I made a comment about the chairs, about being big, and I said, "Oh, don't what you worry about. I'm twice your size." He goes, don't like being called small." He goes, "You're not going to get a walk all day," because he sat to my right, and I'm like, "Let's go."
There you go. Dane, all right, the cutoff has picked up a hand. King Jack offsuit. It's going to pop it up and make it 275K to go. Ling's going to fold a weak ace. Peter Moore getting out of the way with a natural, and Kenta in the big blind has nothing to contend with and folds the 9-3 offsuit.
Dane finding some heat, 2 hands in the orbit.
So I'd like to take a moment here to thank all of the King's staff and that of the staff of the St. George Leagues Club who have put on an absolute epic Colossus series right here at the St. George Leagues Club at 124 Princess Highway, Cogra. Also, you know what? Big shout out to everybody who's joined us across the streams, not only just today, but previous streams that we've had in the past. We hope that you're enjoying what we are putting down here as Jackson Wang under the gun finds the pocket queens. I'd imagine he's going to limp in like he has all the time, but this time
I was actually going to ask that. No, because I mean he's been limping big hands.
Yeah,
in early positions. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he did again. But he does put the raise into 275,000.
Good call, Burke.
Randa Ling, who's got the pocket 6s here now. Ling's got 32 bigs. He's got a big stack to be playing with. If you're facing an under the gun raise here, what are you doing with 6s here, Troy?
I think it's a probably flat or fold spot. You don't have any good blockers to 3-bet.
There you go. She does make the flat right on cue yet again.
You'll be a little bit worried though because the button, small blind, and big blind all have jamming stacks. So quite often you'll be facing an 18 big blind all in if you do flat.
Is this jammable here or not? Troy?
It says under the gun, but playing six-handed is technically the low jack.
Yep.
So I think you definitely can jam this.
Has elected to make the flat.
It's a little bit scary because both players can have hands that dominate you.
Correct.
It's interesting. Let's go see a flop here. We've got 3-3-8. So Jackson way out in front here. That's an interesting texture when you ling and you've got the paired board. Paired boards are one of the hardest things to play, I feel, tournament poker, especially six-handed.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can feel like you're so far ahead, but to be utterly dominated by, like, say, an under-the-gun raise, which should be a cutoff raise. So it'll be interesting to see. We actually got the check and then the bet out from Jackson of 600,000, which is 60% of the pot. How are you gonna maneuver this if you're ling?
I'll just fold, I think. Versus smaller bet, you can definitely continue, but 600k puts in an awkward position on the turn. And already on the flop, you're guessing, so it's a little bit too big of a bet to speculate, I think.
Are you also considering that the big blind was the one that flattered and they have a lot of threes in their range there?
I actually think that Stev will have to play pretty tight there because both players have reasonably strong ranges. You can't really go defending hands like 5-3 offsuit and even ace-3 offsuit is probably a fold in that spot because both players can have a lot of dominating ace-x, and when you're so short, if you flop an ace, you're just going to have to stack off. And having an ace no kicker isn't really attractive versus those two ranges.
There you go. Comments from the super coach.
You can probably hear a bit of background noise coming through the mics. That is courtesy of the closing event, which started today at 6 p.m. It's a $250 buy-in. Late registration till 9:50 p.m. So if you want to come in after work, assuming obviously you're off work by 7 o'clock, which is the local time at the moment, you can come in all the way until 9:50 p.m. tonight and play that event. $250 buy-in, 40k starting stack, 20-minute levels, and unlimited re-entries until registration closes at 9:50. And that's generating quite a few players coming in on Monday night to play in that closing event for the Colossus Series right here, the King's Premium Poker Room at St George Leagues Club. But for the time being, we'll get back to the action here, down to 12 players.
It's an interesting dynamic we've had so far, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kenta Ito has been up and down all day. Jackson has been making some super, let's just say, unconventional plays that have really paid off for him.
Yeah, totally agree.
Like losing minimum on jacks, that hand we were talking about. He's had under the gun flats. I think and someone can correct me, did he flat in an early position with that ace-7 off that he ended up?
Yeah, the ace-7 of diamonds, I believe.
No, he was
ace-7 off. Yeah.
The big hand we want to go get. Was that a flat in early position?
Kenta raised, I think, and Jackson flatted
Jackson
cut off.
flatted.
He did
Cut
flat
off,
the
yeah.
cutoff, okay. So unconventional, but these are the hardest players to play.
Yeah, Daniel's coming in here on the Facebook Live as we go to the outer tables. This is what I was just referring to before. The closing event. Have a look at this. A few tables getting up and going for the closing event.
It's only just
So that's
started.
a
And you're already
$250 buy-in, like I said.
wow.
There's Mark Liddell at the registration. The man, the myth, the legend, doing everything right here. The Colossus Series closing event. There are 30 total entries down to the final 28, and that's going to keep on growing throughout this evening. As we see the outer feature table in this main event right there, it would choose out on that particular table and a couple of other crushers as we get back to the main action here. Ling Lu under the gun is going to fold the Queen Jack offsuit. Murky?
Yeah, so I actually have a question for you. So with six-handed, what's your opening range looking like? Because it's like is it open more because you're six-handed?
Yeah. So when you're under the gun, you're pretty much playing as you would play from the low jack nine-handed. That's generally a good way to think about it. As you get a little bit shorter-handed, so maybe 3 or 4-handed, you might widen slightly more. But yeah, generally you want to be thinking about under the gun 6-handed as low jack, under the gun 5-handed as high jack, and so on. So definitely widens the under the gun range. But yeah, it's a very different game. Playing shorter-handed.
I was alluding to before on Facebook Live, Daniel Embleton said Troy It's actually kind of worded incorrectly, but Troy, how much may you got Troy sweet? Which I'm pretty sure means, Troy, how much did you get?
How much did I get? Not enough is the answer.
Do you because we are talking about Six Max at the moment. Do you play many Six Max tournaments?
I'll play anything on the schedule.
That fair enough. Yeah,
Even,
no, there you
even
go.
the structures and formats I'm less of a fan of. I
Mixed
still
games?
usually sit down. Some PLO stuff.
Some PLO stuff.
Are you going to jump into the closing event?
Not sure yet. We'll have to see how it ends up.
Fair enough. Peter Moore under the gun finds the 10-4.
About you boys, you boys got a night off to play?
Nah, man,
Or
forget
you're
about
in
this.
the-
Night off. Night off.
10-4 goes into the bin.
So he's got jokes to go along with him as well.
He does. Kenta Ito with the Queen 10 in the hijacks going to fold. Stev is going to get out of the way, and lucky for him because Jackson Wang has picked up ace queen of clubs on the button.
It's actually an interesting one because he's flattered a lot of hands and he's trying to induce action from the small blind here, who's got, 8.8 bigs. Can you flat this and induce action, or do you just go for the raise?
I would raise, but I don't really have a limping range on the button. If you do have a limping range, you definitely can throw this in there to balance it out a little bit.
Here he goes. He's just limped it on cue. I finally got one.
Yeah.
Trying to induce the action. Well, he just gets the flat here. So what are we going to do? Ling in the big blind. Because ace 5. Now that you've got limp, do you want to put a bit of aggression on here, six-handed with an ace? Or are you happy just checking and seeing a flop
I
here?
think seeing a flop here is good. You're out of position, so raising and getting flattered by the button is a little bit scary. And then obviously all in is like a disaster when you get called.
So he has induced action here, Jackson, on the button. By flattening the button, Ling has taken the option to raise up to 550, which is a large raise here. I dare say we're going to see a jam, I would assume, but yes, that is the jam. And as you said, you're really putting in an awkward position here now as Ling, because you've raised, you're out of position, you're facing a jam, and it looks super strong, the flat jam on the button.
It's not quite a jam, actually, Berkey. He has made a 3-bet to 1.1 mil.
Oh, I stand corrected.
This is super nutted.
Yeah,
Expect
isn't
Ling to
it?
fold.
And Ling now looking down at a weak ace, facing.
Ling definitely an aggressive player though, so she has found a jam.
And she has elected to jam it all in. Wow. So
Holy
Now if you're
cow.
Jackson, you've played a super nutted line and then she puts it in anyway.
wow. Have a look at this. That's a 4-bet jam all in from Ling Lu with the ace 5 off.
That's a massive jam.
What a play. Holy moly. Now can Jackson find the call with the best hand, ace queen of clubs, or is he going to get away from it? What a play from Ling Lu.
You've played a super strong line here, like super. You're absolutely nutted in this position, and you've still been jammed on. You have to ask the question.
Yeah.
Tell you what's amazing here. Jackson actually played this hand beautifully, but I have to give credit here to Ling, who's actually played it even better. So levels upon levels here, Troy.
Yeah. I can't imagine Jackson folding here.
Wow-wee.
He's super confused. To see his eyes, he just doesn't understand how this has happened. Now, CK Lifetime, while we're waiting for the action here, has come to the chat saying the boys would be keen for a 3-handed draw maha in the booth if you're keen.
I'd have to learn the rules first.
Someone of your caliber, I'm sure you'd pick
You
it up
boys,
in a
you
few
boys
minutes.
would absolutely rinse me.
Hence why we're inviting you. It's the only game I think I've got some slim
No, you
advantage
still
on.
don't
with.
have any edge.
There's always a second table for the whale, right?
What are you doing here if you're Jackson? Like, you've played this hand, you've taken a certain line that shows how nutted you are,
Yeah.
and you've still.
I still think you have to call. Like, you put in 1.1 million, you get a hand as good as ace queen suited. You got to have a very, very strong read if you're going to fold a hand like
Yep,
this.
there he
It
goes.
does make the call. So Ling Lu all in at risk at the moment against the chip leader at this feature table. Jackson Wang does have her covered, not only in chips, but also in the hand holdings. Ace queen of clubs versus the ace 5. So Ling Lu needs to find some help.
If there's any cards to be able to hit, I'm going to take the 5s.
And the flop comes down. Wow. King Jack 5. So she does flop bottom pair here. Jackson needs to find a 10 queen. The turn card does bring in a diamond, but none of the players have a diamond, so it needs to find a 10 or a queen at the river. Otherwise, Ling Lu's going to get a full double up, courtesy of the chip leader at this feature table, and she's ecstatic.
As you would be. That's a massive pot.
It's a huge pot as she's got to sniff some Tiger Balm and have a look at that. She's pretty happy about
right
that. On cue. Slams it down on the table. Very happy about that. And I'll tell you who's not happy about that. Jackson, who ended up making the correct call and got outdrawn on the flop.
Well, it's one thing to play your hand correctly, but you still got to hold.
Yeah, and that'll put Ling in a commanding
Wow.
on this table, so she can definitely start widening her range and leveraging the fact that everyone else is playing for their tournament life and she isn't.
That's your favourite position to be in, isn't it? I've seen you do it a few
I
times.
think most poker players would prefer to be in that position.
Well, when you
but when
the pay bubble run when you were in the other day and you were just raising everything?
Yeah. Wasn't super successful.
No, we were
I guess
talking
it was
about
fun.
who was in seat 9. You're like, oh, he's raised this guy's button. He's raised this guy's big blind. He defends like most of the time. Can't remember who we were talking about there.
Artie, I think, was in
Artie,
second
was
on
it?
the bubble.
Yeah. So you started putting the pressure on, and then people started kicking back, and you had to sort of take a back seat there, even though.
Ling Lu now up to 49 bigs. And the only player out in the
7.3
field,
million.
I believe, who has now hit over 7 million in chips. So 7.35 million, 49 bigs. She's taken a monster pot away from Jackson Wang. He's now down to 6.5 bigs, Perky.
Well,
And before he leaves the arena, if he should bust, we still need to get an answer about
Absolutely.
that hand earlier.
absolutely, I'd like to get a rundown before he leaves. Now, the thing is, we haven't seen Edwin stack in about 5 minutes, so who knows what he's done over there. He could be up at 7 million.
Good point.
he loves getting in amongst it. There's the absolute new wall that has been built there. 7.35 million, 49 bigs. 49 bigs in 12 people left with 105 up. You'd be pretty excited, as you did see the position she was in.
Ling can definitely start playing some open jams as well. Everyone else's stack is sub 15 bigs.
Yeah, it's crazy the chip lead that she's got on this feature table at the moment, like you were alluding to, Troy. Everybody else on this table was sub 15 bigs, with 2 players with less than 8 bigs. In that of Dane Allright and Jackson Wang now that she took that huge pot away from. He did actually make the correct call. And unfortunately for him, couldn't win with the best hand pre-flop with the ace-queen of clubs. Did flop a gut shot to make the straight draw, but the 5 did peel off, and Ling's going to take that huge pot away from Jackson Wang, who was the chip leader at this feature table, and now all of a sudden the tides have turned in Ling's favour as Peter Moore takes that hand down with the pocket 3s.
Yep. Well, there was a raise from Stav, and he's jammed with 3s, and Stav decided to fold. So, yep. So your opening range here would be pretty massive for Ling, wouldn't it? Or your jamming ranges against some of these.
Yeah, definitely don't want to play too many open jams because 18 bigs a lot, but there are definitely a few hand classes that you can put in there.
Sure.
Smaller pairs and like some higher up suited connectors, maybe some ace-5 suited and ace-4 suited and stuff like that too.
And you can spend a fair bit of time picking up free chips in the middle.
Yeah.
Because no one really wants to bust. And we're starting to get to the final table pressure here. Right on cue, you've said ace-5, and in the hijack, Jackson Wang has decided to jam all in here.
When you're chip leader, you want to prioritize winning lots of small pots as opposed to
Taking down the
a
big
few
ones.
big pots.
Ling Lu on the button here. Her cards haven't quite shown up in the RFID reader at the moment, but it looks like she's contemplating making a call and potentially finishing the job of Jackson Wang, who she took a huge pot off no more than a couple of hands ago.
So what you're trying to say is they're trying to starve the big blind, like the blinds in the middle.
Yeah,
so you've
yeah.
got the big blind, the small blind, and the half a blind that goes in. So you're just trying to starve people with chips at this point.
Yeah. Just try and take like down 2.5 big blinds every pot, or not every pot, but most pots, and don't really. And try and avoid giving other people the opportunity to flip the chip stacks. So you already have lots of fold equity with small bets as a chip leader. You don't need to go blasting for huge bets.
She has elected to make a call. Sorry to cut you off there with the ace-8. So she's actually got him dominated. Now, can Jackson?
With the ace-5, what she took him down with before.
Yeah,
was
can he-
ace-5 versus ace-queen. Now Jackson's got the ace-5.
Can he find the 5 this time? For a bit of poetic justice.
Yeah, it would be poetic justice. I'll give him that. Now, wouldn't quite get his whole chip stack back, but he would be in a position for a good double up here. So we're going to go see a flop here. Ace-8 versus ace-5. Ace-5 is at risk. Oh, and then there on cue, the 8, the top pair for Ling.
Turn
got
cut brings in a
There's a
4
lot
of
of
clubs,
outs
which
here.
means Jackson's now picked up the nut flush draw and a gut shot to make a wheel.
Oh, he's picked up the flush.
And he
Didn't
gets
need
there
the
with a nut
5.
flush. So running clubs there, getting it done. And Jackson Wang actually gets a little bit of poetic justice there with the ace-5 offsuit, making the flush at the river with the 4 flush hitting at the river with the king of clubs. So ace-5 working in his favour. And I think they're actually talking about it a little bit. She seems to make
I'm not upset, to be honest.
a bit of fun at the table. She knows she took a
decided to jam
huge
it. What
pot
can I do?
off Jackson no more than a few hands ago
If I was in
with
her
the
position.
ace-5. And now Jackson's done the same thing from her, but only for half as much.
Oh, look, if I was her, I'd be saying, you know what, let's call it square.
thought you had clean.
Yeah, let's call it square. So Ling Lu down to 42 bigs, and Jackson Wang did survive that all in with the worst hand, and now up to 2.275 million or 15 bigs.
I leaned because I
So
saw
down to 12. So six-handed does change up everything. It makes it more interesting. I actually like the wider ranges, the more jams. And when you have someone like Ling Lu at the table who can be hyper-aggressive with the chip lead, it's actually a very interesting dynamic now to be able to see, because no one wants to be the next to bust out. Everyone wants to make the final table.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some big pay jumps coming up here. So if she can play her cards right and start putting max pressure on these stacks, she can take down a lot of hands pre-flop without seeing and take down a lot of chips.
You're looking at 375k in blinds here, essentially, every single orbit. So blinds have gone up to 75k, 150k with a 150k big blind ante. And she can capitalise on that by playing a bit of power poker, Berkey.
Yeah, do love a bit of power poker. Liam G, who jumping in the chat saying the double suited ace-5 is solver approved.
Yep,
That seems to be taking it down a couple of times, doesn't it?
it does. You actually took down a pretty nice pot with the ace-5, making a gut shot for the wheel yesterday,
Yeah.
which I
That's
predicted, by the way.
twice a single time she made a gut shot with ace-5 in a big pot. The other one was on stream with Mystery Bounty.
Yeah, I saw. I
And
called
I
the
was
action on that
done
too.
as well. So, and maybe ace-5. I had ace-5 double suited once and ace-5 suited once.
Yeah, I think it was King Deuce, and the Deuce peeled off on the first time in the mystery bounty.
Just quietly, look at the chip lead she's got on here.
42%.
6.7 million. The next closest chip stack is 2.5 million.
Yeah, of that of Jackson Wang, who did have essentially her stack 3 or 4 hands ago, maybe a little bit less.
Incredible lead there. Once again, if you are listening in the chat, we are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. High Def is definitely on YouTube, though. So if you want to switch over, see some High Def action over there. You jump in the chat, have a chat with myself, Monkey, or Troy. And we are here calling the action all the way to the end today. We are going to play down to a winner to take home that $105,000 top prize, 6-figure score, which everyone would be happy with about that one. Couple of days' work, 105,000, if you don't mind.
Yeah, not much for Troy, but obviously to me and you, Berkey, it's plenty. There's 2 of these sweet brothers, so forget about 105k.
Prime example here, I'm guessing, with the King Queen suited.
This one's probably actually good enough to raise and call off if there's a jam.
Yep.
Probably more
Agreed.
than Jack 10 suited, 10 9 suited, Queen 10 suited. Those hands are a little bit more uncomfortable calling off a jam. But if someone jams a suited Broadway here, then you can call off and be ahead. So yeah, I'd definitely be raising this one up and calling if someone goes all in. I think anyone I'd call.
Jackson Wang's in the big blind here, facing just one big to call, and does flick in the call with the 10-7 of diamonds. So these two battling it out again here, Bert.
Yeah, Suit-wise absolutely dominated, but Jackson out flopping with the top pair of 7s. They both have backdoor diamonds. Ling with the 2 overcards, and he's just going to open rip this, I believe.
Bit annoying.
Hard to call off now.
Bit annoying for Ling because she probably checks back her hand and you can realise with the backdoor flush draw and 2 overcards, Jackson not giving her the opportunity.
Yeah.
Take it down contested.
So Jackson, who did have one of his legs cut off no more than about 3 or 4 hands ago by Ling Lu, making his way back up the leaderboard in chips. Up to now 2.65 million or 18 bigs. The blinds have gone up, like I said, to 75k, 150k with a 150k big blind ante. You're watching day 3 of the main event right here at the St George Leagues Club at 124 Princess Highway in Cogra, New South Wales. This is the King's Premium Poker Room. is bringing you all of the action this evening in conjunction with the major sponsor of this stream, Link Tech, Maddie Marshall and Jamie Hall down in the production studio, doing a phenomenal job to bring this to you at your home or on your device, wherever you're watching from. We do appreciate all the support you are giving us as we get back to the action here. Kenta Ito is going to fold in the cutoff for the 9-6 off. Round 2, Stev Blakovic finds the ace-4 offsuit, good enough to whack it all in on the button. And Jackson Wang in the small blind picks up the Queen 10 offsuit. He's not going to contend for this particular pot. And poor Dane hasn't found a hand since Jesus wore sandals. Finds the second worst hand in the game of No Limit Hold'em, the 8-3 off, and has no other choice but to put it into the muck.
He's still just hanging on, Dane. He just cannot pick up a hand.
Good call. So we're down to the final 12 bet. 2 tables of 6.
Looks like the blinds have gone up. We are at 75, 150, 150 now. So a lot less big blinds now per orbit. And that takes Dane down to 5.8 big blinds. And with 6-handed, hold on a second, we've got some action on the side table. Ace-10, who's all in against Ace-King. Ace-10 at risk. We got 3 spades
up the nut
and
flush
a
draw,
10 on the flop. Looking for an offsuit king or an offsuit jack.
You take 10 to
Get there. The
Doesn't
ace
get
10 is going to get it done, and Edwin, believe it or not, is actually going to lose some chips for the first time in 6 months with the best hand. Huge flop for Gordon Jew, sitting there in the middle.
Might be Patrick So.
Oh, Patrick So, pardon me. I do apologise. I was looking actually at Gordon. Patrick So, they're getting that full double up courtesy of Edwin. We did flop a monster there, a pair in the nut flush draw and holding. As we get back to the action on the feature table here, Stev Lakovic is going to fold the 9-8 off. Round 2, Dane, all right, in the small blind. Finally finds a hand, the jacks. Looks down at his chip stack. He's got 875k total.
Yeah, no decision here.
So he's going to whack it for the full amount straight into the chip leader at this feature table, Ling Lu, who finds the 9-7 offsuit, I should say, facing a bet of 725k to call. She does elect to put them into the muck, and Dane's going to take that one down uncontested, picking up $300,000, the big blind and the big blind ante. So
Just hanging on there again, picking up some blinds where he can.
Absolutely.
But I mean, eventually, when you get a hand, you still want to be able to get a call. Eventually, you need to get the double up at some point. It's nice picking up big blinds, but you want to be able to get the double up eventually.
Yep, especially when the payouts so top heavy in live tournaments, you want to give yourself a chance at winning the top prize.
So just to let you know, we do have Patrick So on the outer table, who just won that hand off Edwin Chu, who's also out on that outer feature table. Mike Larson, Swedish Mike, is out there. Gordon Zhu is also out on that outer feature table, along with Juan Fei Chen. So a couple of crushes.
I would expect a fold here. Bit early in the tournament, you might be able to find a jam here, but jamming and getting called when you have 8 high is not a good spot to
But
be.
he has made the jam here in the hijack with Stev.
And no one has a hand.
It's Dane with the 5s again.
I expect a fold here.
A fold? Yep.
Yeah.
He had the pocket 5s before, so
If you only knew what I knew about 5s, you'd be calling this off, but it's... Well, by the way, my favourite hand's 5s. So I can't help it, man. I can't help it. Love the hand. It always gets me into trouble, and I'll continue to play it over and over again.
as Peter Moore picks up a suited ace in the big blind. So he's asking for a count of that of Stev Lakovic.
This one's close, but it's probably too much of Peter's stack to fall off. If you had 30 bigs, it'd be a little bit closer, I think. But when he's jamming for 11 bigs and you only have 14, ace 4 suited isn't really ahead of anything. It's flipping with a lot of stuff, so you can't technically have the best hand if he's jamming some Broadway hands, but you're not crushing anything, which is kind of the spot you want to be in at this stage of the tournament.
Yeah, you don't want to be flipping if you can't help it.
Yeah.
You'd rather have the hand crushed.
I did the same ace 4 bet with ace last time before this tournament.
What was it?
I do the same move like you against aces last time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, then I crack him.
Oh.
Then we meet another day in the same table. same move, and he fold. But still, ace 4 off.
And Peter does make that fold there, and correctly so, with the ace 4 of diamonds. Like Troy was alluding to, shouldn't have the best hand there often enough.
It's funny, you look at the hand like ace 4 diamonds, and you're like, okay, we're short-handed. You know, this could be good a lot of the time. But I like the breakdown you do of that, saying, you know, you can't be dominating. You don't want to be flipping. You've got the choice at this point. I mean, it's really good insight you're giving us here, mate. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, good call from Berkey. As we get back to the concluding stages of the main event here, also known as the Colossus Main, right here at the St George Leagues Club in New South Wales, 124 Princess Highway in Cogra. It's the King's Premium Poker Room Colossus Series, and it's been a huge series at that. Approaching now $2 million, give or take.
We're very close. We haven't got official numbers yet.
Yep.
But I hear we are scratching the surface at this point.
Yes. Mark Liddell was alluding to that prior to the start of play today. Roughly 10 to 15K off hitting that milestone, a $2 million series. So we might be able to get some information from the production studio downstairs when we're approaching close to that, which is a huge milestone. As Jackson Wang in the hijack finds the pocket nines.
Right on cue, the ace 5 again from the
Same suits as well.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, correct.
So-
Oh, wow, okay.
And
This
he's
one,
going
I probably would raise this one because you're in position now. If he does flat, then you have the benefit of acting last post flop. And obviously she's got a chip lead now, so
She's
This is
rated
one of his.
400.
this hand also approved by Liam Juhu, who says the double suited ace 5 solver approved. So
Oh, look at this.
raised to 450K. And Peter Moore in the small blind has picked up the pocket Berkeys, the pocket 5s. He's down to 14 bigs or 2.1 mil, facing a raise from Ling Lu after a flat in the hijack from Jackson Wang.
It's tough when Jackson's flatting because
Yeah.
last time
Correct.
he flatted,
Yeah.
he had the ace queen suited. So you've
Correct.
got to really take that information
Yeah.
into heart. And it's definitely a good fold there.
and that definitely tightens up Ling's ISOing range. as well.
100%.
So the two ranges are probably stronger than the typical setup when there's a limp and ISO. Unexpected jam.
Action back round to Jackson Wang, who would love to see him move this all in, and he does. And this time, Ling Lu's going to get rid of the ace 5.
That flat jam is definitely in Jackson's range, and I'm assuming everyone's
Nah.
going to be paying
One
very
pair.
much attention to it.
It's a flip.
Ling's allowed to. She's got the big chip stack. She can
Oh,
start
good one.
ISOing and stuff like that. But if you're the rest of the table with short amount of big blinds,
My one, three.
I'd definitely be paying attention to the times that he's flatting.
Tell you what, you have to tip your hat a little bit to Jackson Wang, who was down to sub 10 bigs after losing that huge pot to Ling. And now he's worked his way back up to 3.4 million or 33 bigs in play. So he's actually second in chips at this feature table and definitely still
Now we talk
Hey.
Ling.
a promising player to take down this event.
Those last two limps might actually earn Jackson some cheap flops as well
Correct.
with his more honest limping hands.
Yep,
Maybe like this one, that's 4 suited to get the limp.
good call.
That one he limped a lot quicker than the other ones though. The other ones he's kind of contemplated it and then gone for the limp. This one he was pretty quick with it. So whether the players are picking up on these timing tells or not, they obviously can't see his hands.
So back to the action here. Jackson Wang again, just limping in under the gun with the ace 4 of clubs this time. Round to Patrick Moore on the button. He's going to fold the 10-3 off. Round to Kenta Ito, who came into this feature table with the chip lead, but unfortunately copped a few bad beats and is now down to 11 bigs or 1.575 million in chips. And Stev Lakovic has picked up a 10-5 offsuit in the big blind, and he's electing to check back his option. The board comes down Queen Jack 9, giving Stev an up and down draw. And Jackson out with a lead, a small one at that, with just ace high on this particular board. Backdoor clubs also working for Jackson Wang. Should a club peel off on the turn.
Sorry about that. Just get myself a drink of water. It's can get a bit dry on the throat if you're not looking after yourself.
Definitely true. Jackson is going to bet this flop. Stev going to go absolutely nowhere here with the up and down draw. So He's going to elect to make the call. And off to the turn we go. Turn card, a blank of all blanks, the deuce of spades. No help to either player. Mr. Lakovic here, trying to figure out how to play this on the turn.
It's very hard to play out of position, these type of hands. You've got the draw.
Does
You
elect to
don't
make
know
a
where
check.
you stand.
Yep.
So, I mean, you're never betting out here.
Do you just check back here if you're Jackson, or do you go for another barrel here, Troy?
His hand might actually make a good bet. You can target a lot of 9x, put Jack X in a tough spot, and if you get check jammed on, you got a pretty easy fold.
Does elect to check it back. River card brings in the 10, completing the 4-liner on the board. I'd imagine Stev is going to check this river card.
Praying for a showdown if you're Stev.
Yeah,
Praying,
exactly
yeah.
right. And I wouldn't be surprised if Stev checks here and Jackson actually has a stab at this particular river card. But I've been known to be wrong a couple of times, Berkey. And there's a
Right there
possibility
with
of
you. Right there with
Yeah,
you.
there's a possibility of that coming in absolute spades right here, as Stev looks like he's going to make the bet of $500,000, throwing in 2 of those magenta 250k chips. And it looks like he's going to take this bad boy down. Pretty good pot there. Stev now up to 3rd in chips on this particular feature table, and we're out to the outer feature table. And it appears that Gordon Zoo is all in the 7-5 of diamonds versus the A6 of Edwin. And the 7-5 of diamonds is going to get the full double up.
Backpack equity as well. He was
Yeah,
trying to
he
walk
did
out.
have his backpack on.
I just want that to be known.
And it looks like
One plus straight.
he's going to get the full double up there. So a little bit out of table action brought to you by Jamie Hall. So that full double up
Don't lock the river.
was courtesy
Anything
of,
correct, I'll just bet.
I believe, Mike Larson.
You
I
eat?
think it was had the
Oh, Galemi.
A6. Yeah.
Was it? Pardon me.
There we go.
Good call.
Just trying to get all the information we can. Let me get back to the action here. Peter Moore in the cutoff. 6-2 off.
Of course it
Don't
was.
really know what he's... Yep, there we go. Contemplating there. When he ground a Kenta Ito on the dealer button. Just, he's been not card dead, but he hasn't been hitting his hands, and now it's starting to look a bit of frustration there on Kenta.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's starting to get down.
No,
He's
you
got
haven't.
10 big blinds left. He's not picking up hands. He's pretty much in the position Dane was for a lot of this.
Yeah.
You know, hovering around that 7.5 to 10 big blind stack and not picking up much hands.
No, I
Are,
mean,
are you trying to force the action here with the
You
10
play
big
pretty
blinds?
good.
Like if you find a king on the button, trying to get through the blinds, or you just making
King
patience
5,
more.
probably not. But I would just say if you're Kenta here, it's easy to let your mind wander and kind of think about what the tournament would be like if you won the all-ins, but that's not how poker works, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You kind of have to take each hand as it comes, and if you lose an all-in, then your situation changes, and that's how you have to play. It doesn't matter what you would have done if you had 50 bigs right now. All that matters is how you play 10 bigs. So it can definitely be frustrating, but putting that to the back of your mind is how you play your best poker.
Yeah, well said. Well said.
Ling Lu is going to raise to 325k under the gun with the K9, the dog, offsuit.
Yeah.
Peter Moore is going to forward in the hijack, the 7-3 suited.
Nice open from Ling. Want to be prioritising high card holdings. King 9 off a better open here than say 6-5 suited. And she's also targeting Dane's big blind, who she would know is a bit on the tighter side.
Yep.
Dane would probably go for a defend here, I'd assume. You don't really have much fold equity, so okay, gone for the fold. But
Guys, I'm going to, on just that note, I'm just going to leave you guys for a few minutes. I got to go take care of something, and I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you very much, Berkey's. We get back to the main event, day 3. That was the aggression frequency chart just before. You're listening to myself, aka Joshua Monkey, aka Monkey, alongside Troy Sweet, who did get busted with aces in this particular event against the Jacks. Not to turn the screws on you there, Troy, but still a pretty decent score for you in this event.
I'm sure I wasn't the only one to bust faces as well.
True.
Plenty of other people that.
Kirky did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So both of you guys going down with the aces.
Yeah, I'll make sure I get a needle into him before we go.
Yeah, please do. As we get back to the action here, Kenta Ito in the hijack finds the 10-6. Frustrating fold from him. As you can tell from his body demeanour, Stev Lakovic in the cutoff finds the Jack-9 of diamonds. He's going to pop it up and make it 350k to go. Jackson Wang's going to get out of the way with the 10 deuce off.
It's a nice hand to open, but you got to be a little bit wary that you're raising the link big blind.
Yep.
This still probably falls into the opening range, but you got to tighten that up because Ling can realize more equity post flop purely from the fact that you're the one that is playing for your tournament life. And actually likely he's gone a little bit bigger here pre-flop. Kind of incentivise Ling to fold more because she'll have that extra equity realization post-flop.
Well commented there, Troy. As the flop comes down, King, Queen 5. Stev with a gut shot to make the straight, and backdoor diamonds working for him as well. Ling Lu has picked up no hand, no draw, essentially, on this flop. She's going to check from the big blind. I'd like to see Stev come out and make a C-bet here, which would most likely take it down.
Yeah, definitely a good flop for Stev. He's going to be raising a lot of Broadway combos, and he's got kings and queens in his range, which Ling doesn't. Ling probably doesn't have fives in her range either because she'd be all in. So Stev definitely with a very strong range and nut advantage on this board.
And he does do exactly that. Does a C-bet for 375k, taking it down. Ling doesn't want to contend with nothing more than Jack 4 of clubs, completely whiffing that board. They are the chip counts at this feature table. Ling Lu, who is up over 7 million, back down to 5.5 million, and Jackson Wang has made his way back up that chip leaderboard, up to 20 bigs, just over 3 million. And Stev, to be fair, has actually played quite well. Troy has been very patient and finding the right spots to get his money in.
Stev very tough to play. You have to be playing your A game against him. Not many obvious leaks, so definitely got to be playing well.
Good call. Kenta Ito finds the king-9 under the gun, not good enough. Stev is going to fold from the hijack with a 5-3 off. Enter Jackson Wang in the cutoff, 7-4, no good. Dan, all right, has the 6-5 unsuited. Ling Lu in the small blind finds the 5 deuce off.
This one's so trashy, it might actually be a fold. Probably not folding very often, but this hand doesn't have anything going for it.
And she's going to put in a raise, so forget about the fold. She's going to play some power poker from the small blind here, putting pressure on Peter Moore's big.
Yeah, I definitely like raise more than call.
And this is out of feature table, so it looks like Jack 2 versus the Ace 3 of spades versus the King Jack, and it looks like the pot has been pushed over to seat number 2, and we have lost Guilherme there, who is sitting in seat 8. As it looks like Jackson Wang won that pot. So Guilherme Barbara is going to be out in 12th, picking up 6,300. So just like that, we are down to 11 players. Stev Lakovic under the gun finds the 9-6 offsuit. Enough to put that into the muck. Jackson Wang is going to peel up his cards Baccarat styles and fold. Unfortunately, we didn't catch them on the RFID reader. Apologies there. Dane, all right in the cutoff, finds the Jack 7 offsuit. He's going to fold. Ling Lu finds the 4 deuce on the button. One card worse than what she had last hand in the small blind.
Yeah, this seems like one that you probably should fold, especially into Peter Moore and Kenta, because they're both fairly good players. She got lucky here that no one had anything, but Kenta's definitely not afraid to put it in. I imagine Peter Moore is probably pretty happy to put it in as well if he did get a good hand for it.
Kenta Ito, Peter Moore, bit card dead here too. Troy, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, definitely. Especially when the jamming ranges are fairly wide for 11 and 8 bigs.
Yeah.
You'd expect them to be all in once in orbit or so.
As we welcome back Amanda Star Pike and Kiwi Bird Special into the chat, both on YouTube and on Facebook.
Very good hand for Jackson.
Jackson's just picked up the ace king suited under the gun.
I reckon monkey limp or raise.
No, I just put in the raise here. I'll probably make this like 300, just structure pop it.
What do you reckon Jackson will do?
I'm guessing he's probably going to do exactly what I suggest. No, he doesn't. He makes it 450, a little bit more. There was a possibility of him doing that limp play that he's been known to make a few times, but does make a raise to 450.
He's blown his cover a bit, I think. Last couple of
Yeah, I
times
agree.
he's gone for the limp raise.
Yeah, good call.
Maybe realises that he probably won't get ISO'd as wide now.
That's very true. So he's going to pop it up and make it 450k to go. Peter Moore's going to fold the 7-8 suited, I should say. Kenta Ito in the small blind with the natural 9's going to fold, and Stev Lakovic in the big blind has elected to fold also. So uncontested pop there for Jackson Wang, picking up an extra 375k. The blinds are 75k, 150k with a 150k big blind ante. There are the chip counts at this particular feature table. There's also 5 other players playing on the outer feature table. Some crushers out there as well. So we'll be approaching a final table here at the St. George Leagues Club. I'd imagine relatively soon. I do know that the players will be going on break shortly for a 15-minute intermission. Which also gives me an opportunity to grab a drink, to be fair. Non-alcoholic, obviously. Linglu's going to fold. Peter Moore, the cutoff, finds the Queen 6 offsuit. It's going to fold round to Kenta Ito on the button. The 8-7 offsuit. Now, what do you do here with 7.5? Do you jam this on the button or do you put it in the bin? He
Definitely
pitches.
fold. Don't want to get called when you have 8 high.
Fair enough. He needs to start making a play or two. Kenta, he's down to 7.5 bigs as Stev Lakovic picks up the Queen 10 of clubs. He's going to pop it up and make it 400k. And look at Jackson Wang. He's got him covered. Not only in chips, but also with his hand. Out-kicked at the moment with the King 10 suited in diamonds. And this is defendable, if not re-raisable here, I'd imagine, Troy.
Yep. Should definitely be putting chips in here.
Wow, and he elects to fold.
Yeah.
What do you think about that play?
Very, very, very tight. Especially when you can see that Stev is raising Queen 10. Even if you didn't see that, King 10 suited feels like the nuts blind are blind.
I would agree. Maybe he's very hungry and waiting for that break to come up relatively soon.
Yep.
Maybe he's just superstitious about busting before the break. Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe a lot of players are kind of just holding out for the final table and
Good call.
want to lock that up first, and then they'll go for it.
Yeah, definitely a consideration. I would agree. Peter Moore still card dead in the hijack, finds the Jack 9 offsuit. Kenta Ito in the cutoff finds the 10-5 offsuit. And look at him, just completely deflated. He cannot find a hand. Turns to the skies, trying to ask God, why me? As Jackson Wang in the small blind finds the King 9 offsuit.
That's twice he's had King 9 in the small one. The first time he thought he was giving Dane a walk, and this time he actually did give him a walk. Again, very, very tight, especially when Dane has such a short stack. That was actually getting to a point where Jackson would start jamming any two cards. It was almost that short.
Just out of interest, Troy, profitable series for you thus far?
Yeah, I had a good result in the mystery bounty.
Yep.
Not a huge winning series, but winning nonetheless. So can never complain when it happens.
Yep. Happy for you. Those people just tuning in, this is the final 2 tables or 11 players in the main event right here at the St. George Leagues Club, brought to you by King's Premium Poker Room in conjunction with LinkTech Australia, who is the proud sponsor of this broadcast. Shout outs to Matty Marshall down there in the production studio, bringing you this footage this evening. We're going to be playing this down to the winner, who will pick up $105,000 plus the trophy, plus a $2,000 ticket into the Sydney Millions main. As we get back to the action, Stev finds the ace-3 suited in spades in the cutoff.
One of Ling is think about a 3-bet here. These kind of high-low offsuit combos do make good 3-bets from the big blind, especially at shorter stack depths. So that's probably what she's considering here. Kind of isn't really good enough to call, which is why it gets used as a 3-bet sometimes.
And Dan, I don't know if you noticed there, flicked in a time bank chip for Ling Lu.
Yeah. So we would expect somewhere around 5.5 bigs if she did pull the trigger, but goes for the conservative route for a fold, which is also not.
And this is on the outer feature table, as it looks like the players might be going on break shortly. And that's the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mike Larson.
Edwin is the only person I've seen that can make Mike uncomfortable in a hand. Most of the time, Mike is sitting pretty stoically and not really giving much away, but Edwin obviously is so good at putting people in the pain box that even Mike Larson kind of breaks his main position when playing Edwin.
And it looks like Mike Larson did make that fold, and Eddie's going to pick up a few more chips there, as it appears now that the players are going to get off the table and go for a short intermission. We'll be back in approximately 15 minutes to call the remainder of this main event right here, the St George Leagues Club. We'll be back in 15 minutes approximately.
good. Thank you very much for all your participation as well. Players, we do have food and drink available. There's food over to the side as well, complimentary from us, and a bar tab available for you guys. So thank you very much again for your help during the series. Congratulations to all the players in the main event. We have switched the tables and good luck to all the players remaining. Thank you very much. As well as to commentary boys in the booth, thank you very much for all your participation as well. Players, we do have food and drink available. There's food over the side as well, complimentary from us, and a bar tab available for you guys. Thank you very much again for your help during the series. Congratulations to all the players in the main event. We have switched the tables. Good luck to all the players remaining. Thank you very much. Alright, players in the main event, day 3, please return to your tables. We have switched tables, guys. Same spot, just different table.
Alright guys, same procedures before I need everyone's phone, please.
Alright, players in the main event, day 3, please return to your tables. We have switched tables, guys. Same spot, just different table.
Alright guys, same procedures before I need everyone's phone, please, before we get back underway.
In the main event, day 3, your blinds will be returning a 100, 200 with a 200 to big blind ante. Dealers, you're good to shuffle up and deal.
All right, welcome back here to the King's Premium Poker Room. Main event, final table, the Colossus main event here at the St. George Leagues Club here in Cogra. I am back with myself, Mr. Adam Burke, and Monkey. How are we? Back from break?
Yeah, ecstatic to be here calling the action all the way down to the winner. We'll pick up 105 lacquer, a 6-figure score right here in the main event. As we've now swapped out the table we had in prior to the break. So we brought in the outer feature table to join us right now on the feature table. So a whole bunch of new players coming in. Munfei Chen in seat 1. Gordon Zhu is also there. Patrick So. Edwin Chu, there he is right there on the screen. Mike Larson sitting there with a Jordan cap on, representing the big man himself. Juan Fei there in the big blind, as Edwin did make a raise on the button with the 9-3 off. He's going to keep on applying some pressure. Have a look at his chip stack too, up to 5.3 million. He was all in no more than a couple of hours ago, Berkey.
Absolutely was.
And all of a sudden now a force to be reckoned with.
We've got a short stack at the table. Gordon's going to be doing his best to navigate this, but down to 3.8 big blinds. With the blinds 100, 200, 200, it's not a great healthy stack. But as we saw from Mr. Ma a few sessions ago, coming back from 0.5 big blind to get 3rd place, I think he got.
Yeah, he did. Now, just quickly, Berkey, we did something for the chat who has been listening to us commentate on the final 2 tables of this main event, day 3, about that particular hand earlier between Jackson Wang and Kenta Ito.
Now, you had a chat with Jackson. I had a chat with Kenta.
Yeah.
So we're going to come meet in the middle here and discuss some of this.
We have actually the answer on that particular hand, whether or not it was a value bet at the river or a
do you know what I think we should do?
Big time bluff.
It looks like we're at 11 here. We've got a few short stacks. I think we're going to be going to the final table in the next half an hour or so. Just a wild guess, guys. No, I'm not doing anything untowards looking at the thing, but I think right as we go to that, I think we can have a solid discussion on the information that we got there.
Yeah.
So we are down to 11. We're at 6 and 5. Actually, you know what? Nah, I take that back. Let's have a discussion about it now. I'm actually eager to hear what Jackson had to say about it.
So I went out to Jackson. I said, during the break, I said, look, I have to know. The chat has been going off its head about that particular hand with the A7 versus Kenta Ito, who did hit that gut shot at the river. And I said, was it a thin value bet at the river, or were you bluff jamming the river?
Now, what was your guess at first?
I guessed that he was bluff jamming the river.
Yep.
And from the horse's mouth himself, he said it was a full-blown bluff at the river. Hence the reason for why he also showed just the ace. So confirmation. He bluffed jammed the river. And that is straight from Jackson himself. So there is a confirmed answer on his thought process there at the river. He wasn't trying to jam it all in for thin value, as some people might have alluded to in the chat. Confirmation that he did elect to make that bluff jam at the river with the ace-7 versus the, what was it? The
King 10.
King 10
off, who
that did actually make that gut shot at the river against Kenta Ito. So confirmation from Jackson himself.
Well, here with Gordon, who's already committed most of his stack into this pot. He's got ace-4 suited, definitely a candidate. Got 1.3 bigs left behind. This will be going in, and I definitely think I'd be getting a call from Edwin. But he's just taking his time. Is there a pay jump before I start talking about people? 11th and 10th, no, both 11th and 10th are both picking up 8,300. Once we get to the final table, those players left will have locked up 10,800. So after this hand, I'll get through to what I had a chat with Kenta about.
Okay, sounds good. So Gordon Zhu here, all in, at risk with ace-4 of... Oh, pardon me. He's facing an all-in to call with ace-4 of hearts. He actually has got the best hand. Edwin did pop it up and make it 400k to go under the gun, but he does elect to fold from small blind. Back round to Patrick So in the big blind. He's the gentleman you can see in seat 5, right in the middle of your screen. And it looks like...
Interesting spot not to take that one, but...
He's going to fold, so Eddie going to pick up a few more chips there. And now up to just shy of 7 million in chips for Eddie Chu.
Now, Kenta.
Oh, wait out of feature table.
What do we got
action.
going on here?
King Queen versus the Ace Queen versus the King Queen, and the Ace-7 King board. So Ace Queen is going to make 2. Have a look at this.
Everyone makes 2 pair.
Everybody makes 2 pair, and the Ace Queen is going to triple up. It looks like. I'm just trying to figure out who actually is involved in that particular hand. So it looks like Ling Lu was in that particular hand, and also Kenta, who I'm assuming has the Ace Queen as the chips have been passed over to him. So he's going to get a full triple up there with the Ace Queen versus the King Queen versus the King Queen.
Now, who did we lose? Was that Mike Larson we lost?
It could have been. Might get some information on that. Looks like maybe
Dale. Oh no, Mike Larson's here. What am I talking about? Must have been Dale then. Must have lost Dale because he was another short stacked over there who went from this table.
Potentially, but
I don't know.
Maybe nobody were actually busted in that actual hand there. It just looked like an all-in and a call situation.
I thought I saw someone get up and walk away. I could be absolutely wrong, but we'll get the information through as good as we can.
Obviously, Kenta was the short stack out there, gets the triple up, and I'd imagine the other 2 players are just chopping up the side pot because they both have the same hand. So getting back to the action here, main event, day 3, they're the chip counts on this particular feature table. We are 2 players off the final table right here.
And it's going to be star-studded. There's a fair few big names coming to this final table if they can survive.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's still 2 players left to get knocked out, and there's plenty of action still to come.
Totally agree. Unfortunately for Gordon Shu, he's down to $250,000 in chips, or 1.3 mil.
1.3 big blinds for Gordon.
So just a confirmation here. So that outer feature table stuff, Dane Allright did get eliminated in that particular hand, as Kenta Ito actually won that 3-way all-in with the Ace-Queen, flopping top pair and actually making 2 pair at the river, and the same with the other 2 players that also made King-Queen. So 2 pairs there, and that was an elimination for Dane Allright, who will be out now in 11th. The ticker in the top right-hand corner will change over ever so slightly.
And that means we are 1 player off the final table.
Yes, correct. So let's have a look at this. Gordon Zhu here with the Jack-7 of clubs. He's got 1.3 bigs. And he is going to make a decision. Poor guy's got 1 chip, a chip and a chair.
The thing is,
just Gordon, 1 magenta.
Gordon
chip.
led the tournament very early on day 2 for a lot of the time.
Good call.
So you remember that we were seeing the stack chips, and he had a monster stack there. He had a few big hands against some big stacks as well. We saw that outer table when there was plenty left with about 100 to go, and that table had monstrous amount of stacks on it.
Yeah, well said, Berkey. But Gordon does elect to make the fold. Patrick So to the left of the screen at the moment picks up the Queen 10 off on the button. I imagine he's going to come in for a raise here, which it appears like he might have, or he might have just elected to flat. No, he does raise to 400k, and have a look at this. Eddie just picks up the aces. I mean, he's been on stream for 2 hands. He just picks up the rockets in the small blind.
An Edward special.
Facing a raise too from Patrick So on the button, who is the chip leader here. So this is
2 big stacks going at it here.
Yeah, absolutely insane. And it looks like he's going to make it 1.5 million, I think is what he said, but I'll just double check. It's 1.3. Mike Larson, or Swedish Mike, is going to get out of the way. Actually, we're going to go back round to Patrick So, who I'd imagine is going to fold the Queen 10 off. Doesn't want to battle against the second chip leader at this particular feature table, and does elect to put the Queen 10 into the muck. So Eddie is going to show the aces too.
Now I want to
face up.
Hold on a second.
And this is the outer feature table, which you can see is down to 5 players.
5 and 5, yep. There's an all in here from Stev. I had a nice chat with Stev on the break too. Lovely bloke.
And Lynn's going to get out of the way. Jackson's also going to fold, and Kenta Ito has got a decision to make here. Obviously, he has Stev covered. So can Stev hold on here? It looks like King Queen versus the Ace 9 off to a flop. Here we go, and the flop comes down 5-4-6. No help to the King Queen for the time being. Ace on the turn is going to lock it up to Stev, and he's going to get the full double up through Kenta Ito, who just won a huge 3-way all-in pot. And unfortunately for him, he's going to push some chips over to Stev there, sitting in seat 9.
So we're still 1 off the final table. The short stack all-in does win. And just while we're at it, a huge shout-out in the chat to probably our biggest supporters of Kiwi Bird Special and MSB, both in the chat now. So a big shout-out to those two.
Yep.
They always seem to be in the chat with us, and they're always interacting, and we much appreciate all the support that those two ship us and the tournaments we go around and commentate on as much as we can. So massive shout out. We can't talk about them enough.
As we get back to the action here on the feature table, Patrick So did elect to make a raise there with 6-5 of diamonds, but got 3-bet by the Ace Jack and has to make the fold.
So we are on an absolute lifeline.
The bubble here, Berkey, of the main event.
Final table.
And I tell you what, there's some soul crushers out in this particular field. Gordon holding on with dear life for 1.3 bigs.
Dear life. Absolutely dear
trying
life.
to make it down into that 9th position if he can get there. Well, he's obviously down.
It is a page up. It's $2,500 page up.
Yeah, I know. I just noticed.
So, I mean, I understand what he's trying to do here. He's trying to survive it out. Because that is a big jump.
Final table photo taken.
Oh, yeah, that's always a nice one, isn't it?
And obviously a chance to win that 105K, although he is very short.
Has that put him all in, I believe? See the big blind? He is. He's into the big blind.
So Gordon Zhao all in here from the big blind with the Jack 8. Patrick So is going to get out of the way with the Nintendo 64 under the gun. Edwin's going to fold the 9-3 off, and Mike Larson's actually picked up a suited ace. I'd imagine he is definitely going to make a raise here. And he does. He pops it up to the structure to 400K. Juan Fei Chen in the small blind has elected to defend with the internet hand. And obviously Gordon is all in on the big blind. So Gordon needs to survive here. Otherwise he'll be busted out in 10th, picking up 8,300. And we'll be down to a final table, just like that, Burke. Good call by you too, by the way.
Yeah, but I also went back on my word.
Oh, did you? Right.
Flop comes out, King 5 deuce. Gordon getting absolutely none of it.
And
he's
Mike's
actually behind both these hands.
Yeah, Mike's going to bet out with a gut shot draw, and backdoor hearts working for him. Juan Fei's going to get out of the way. So it's now Gordon versus Mike. Can Mike bust out Gordon in 10th? And then we'll be going straight into a final table if that happens to be the case. But can Gordon find a Jack or an 8 on the turn or river? Turn card brings in the 6 of diamonds, no help. River card, Jack or an ace only, and the 5 of clubs, no good. He punches the table there, hoping to try and hit the Jack or the 8, and Gordon Zhao is going to be out in 10th. And just like that, we have reached the final table.
Absolutely.
As you can see,
What a star-studded lineup this is going to be. You've got Edwin, you've got Kento, you've got Arlene.
well, right there, you can see
Look
it.
at
Mike
that.
Larson in
Ethan
1,
Jackson.
Ito in 2, Patrick So in 3.
No shortage
Lee
of
will be in
crushes there.
4. Patrick Russell, yeah, good call, Berkey. Patrick Russell just bringing out the racks.
Packages, please, move
We have been told from production that we're going to stop this particular stream and then bring back a brand new stream after we've taken all the photos of the players who are now contending for that top prize of $105,000. And tell you what, Berkey, I'm looking forward to the conclusion of this main event. They are all playing for some big cheese up top in this record-breaking $512,200 prize pool, $105,000 up top. Second's going to pick up $70,000. Third will pick up $44,600. And also they'll be giving away some tickets to the Sydney Main. So we will look forward to bring